place where I can find myself in you. I won't back down, freedom is what I choose. No more fear, 'cause I have found my happiness in you.
Ladies and gentlemen, today is Senior Day for your SAGU Lions. We have 10 seniors, as you can see them lined up on the field. Let's begin with number 4, Joseph Chavez. Joseph will graduate with a bachelor's degree in interdisciplinary studies. After graduation, Joseph plans on pursuing a career in coaching. Joseph is joined by his mother, Sarah Camarillo, Isaac Camarillo, and his brothers, Sam and Trey. Joseph's favorite Bible verse is John 13:7. Next is number 5, Lontarius McLean. After graduation, Lontarius plans to continue to play football, but if God leads him in another way, he'll start his career in criminal justice. Lontarius is joined by his mother, Renisha Brown, his stepdad, Charles Brown, and his grandmother, Evelyn Porter. Lontarius' favorite Bible verse is John 3:16. Next is number 6, Dalton Spencer. Dalton will graduate with a bachelor's in interdisciplinary studies. After graduation, Dalton plans to start his career as a U.S. Marshal. Dalton is joined by his father, Lance Spencer, his mother, Natisha Ivy, and his sisters, Brooklyn Ivy and Zaya Alvarez. Dalton's favorite Bible verse is 2 Timothy 1, verse 7. Next is number 7, Dylan Alford. Dylan will graduate with a bachelor's in business administration and a minor in music and general studies. He plans on traveling the world for music after graduation. Dalton is joined by his mother, Lady Alford. His favorite Bible verse is John 15, verse 13. Next is number 17, Justin Campbell. Justin will graduate with a bachelor's in interdisciplinary studies. After graduation, Justin plans to earn a master's degree in sports and exercise science and attend medical school. He wants to be an athletic trainer for a college. Justin is joined by his mother, Sharonda McMillan, his grandfather, Earl McMillan, his grandmother, Martha McMillan, great-uncle Gerald, great-aunt Daisy, his cousin Tiffany, Adrian, and Justin. Also, he's joined by his friend Peter. Justin's favorite Bible verse is Isaiah 54, verse 17. Next is number 19, Carlos Charleston. Carlos will graduate with a bachelor's in interdisciplinary studies. After graduation, he plans to start his career in coaching. Carlos is joined by his mother, Michelle Jordan. Next is Latrell Tippett, number 44. Latrell will graduate with a bachelor's in interdisciplinary studies. After graduation, he's still working on it. It's to be determined. Latrell is joined by LaShawn Holiday, Cedric Holiday, Layla Holiday, and Leah Holiday. Latrell's favorite Bible verse is Jeremiah 29, verse 11. Next is number 55, Noah Gibson. After graduation, Noah plans to pursue his career in criminal justice. Noah is joined by Lester Gibson, Tuesday Gibson, and Shunta Wade. Noah's favorite Bible verse is Revelation 3, verse 20. Next is number 88, the great catcher of the football, Jamal Long. Jamal will graduate with a bachelor's degree in interdisciplinary studies. After graduation, he hopes to start coaching. He's joined by his grandfather, Danny Reese, and his mother, Monica Long. Jamal's favorite Bible verse is Proverbs 27, verse 17. And finally, number 78, Hunter Griffin. Hunter will graduate with a bachelor's degree in communications and digital media. After graduation, he plans to do media for professional sports. Hunter is joined by his mother, Diana Ferrier, and his favorite Bible verse is Romans 1, verse 16. Fans, let's have a big round of applause for our graduating seniors. We wish you well today and in your future career. Congratulations.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the SAGU Sports Network. It is Senior Day here for these SAGU Lions seniors live from Lumpkin Stadium here in Waxahachie, Texas. I am Adam Ferguson, joined by my partner, as always, Tim Roberts. Tim, how are we doing today?
You know, another great day for football. A little warmer than last week. We finally had a little bit of fall, so we rented that. It's gone now. Back to a nice 90-degree day here. But, you know, a little bit of cloud cover. Beautiful day for football. And really a big game for both these teams. Two teams really looking for a win to kind of salvage their season. Obviously, North American University coming in out of Houston, Texas, the surrounding area of Houston, Texas, looking for their first real landmark win. Now, they notched their first NAIA win all time earlier this season against fellow Sooner Athletic Conference team Texas College. So the Mustangs beat the Steers that day. You look at the full standings right here. SAGU sitting there at 2-3 in conference, 2-4 overall. So trying to get back to 500 in conference. Still have a good shot this year of getting to a 500 record, but they've got to get the big wins like they have here today. North American, of course, is currently an affiliate member of the Sooner Athletic Conference, so this game will not go down as a conference game for the SAGU Lions, but it nonetheless a very big one, especially for a Mustangs team coming in looking for kind of a landmark win for their program.
Of course, you mentioned the Stallions with that big win against Texas College. It's always nice as you're trying to get your foot into the door. A lot of times we see these teams on that probationary period where they don't win a single game throughout the entire season. But to get a win against an established Texas College program who has been a part of the Sooner Athletic Conference, CSFL, as far back as I can remember, to pick up a win, albeit again against Texas College, who we'll see here in a couple of weeks, that's always got to feel good for the morale as you come in, trying to get your foot in the door of that conference.
So while this game won't technically go down as a conference game, we do still have 4 big games this weekend that are within the Sooner Athletic Conference. Texas Wesleyan coming off their, big win here in Waxahachie last week, taking on Wayland Baptist at home. Langston taking on Arkansas Baptist at home. Texas College and Oklahoma Panhandle State, kind of that battle of the mid-tier teams. Texas College really trying to find a way to get anything going. But the game of the week, without question, possibly the game of the week in the NAIA. I know there's probably higher-ranked teams playing this week, but we know how dangerous these two teams can be, and this could determine the course of the Sooner Athletic Conference champion, the Louisiana Christian Wildcats. Taking on Ottawa, Arizona.
Louisiana Christian, of course, with that big win streak dating back to last season, really out of nowhere. They've just consistently climbed every week of these polls. It seemed like they were unranked at the beginning of the season, then all of a sudden the Wildcats are receiving votes. Now they're number 21, and then they're number 17, and now at number 15. If the season ended today, they would be conference champions, and they would have a spot in the playoffs. So this is a huge, huge, huge game in Arizona against Ottawa.
Yeah, so that's going to be, again, if Ottawa, Arizona wins that, it opens the door for absolute pandemonium in the standings with potentially another 3-team tie. If Louisiana Christian wins, then just set your calendars for November 11th when the Wildcats will take on the Rams in Fort Worth for the championship game. Winner takes it all.
And it seems like every year that happens, where there's just 3 teams, somebody beats somebody, whether it's, we're used to seeing, of course, now gone from the conference, Arizona Christian, Texas Wesleyan, Ottawa, sometimes Langston thrown in there. It's just refreshing to see Louisiana Christian, a new name, relatively newer to the conference within the last few years, has really turned their program into a delight to watch, and it just quietly quietly dominating this season so far. Moving on to today here in Waxahachie for your game we're about to see here, about roughly 10 minutes. SAGU versus North American University, the Stallions. Like you said, North American trying to get their foot in the door of the Sooner Athletic Conference. Tim, let's talk about what the Stallions have to do. Now, they do, like you said, they do have that lone win on the season against Texas College. SAGU struggling a little bit here, closer to the end of the season. What do the Stallions have to do to walk away with the win today?
Well, the first thing you have to do is just take advantage of the chances that they get. In that one win over Texas College, all of their touchdowns came on big plays. They had a 32-yard touchdown run on a 29-yard drive, so they lost some yardage beforehand. They had a 30-yard touchdown on a 31-yard touchdown drive, a 60-yard touchdown play, and a 20-yard punt return for a touchdown on a botched punt that was the game winner down in Tyler, Texas. SAGU will give you some chances. SAGU will probably give you a spot or two for you to make a big play, either on an interception or a punt return or just a blown coverage. You've got to take advantage of those. Second, need to come out here and stack the box. They're allowing over 5 yards of carry this year. Meanwhile, we have not seen SAGU able to get any sort of traction on the ground. Just no wins up front on the offensive line, no room for Dekevion Rose to go. So I would try to stack that box, make the quarterback beat you today. Don't let SAGU find any foot to run, any sort of foothold to get a running game started. And last, come into this game with a playoff mentality. Obviously, two teams, towards the middle to bottom of the standings here, but you have your first NAIA win. You get a chance to take a shot at a higher caliber team, a team that just 2 years ago was, very much in the conference champion conversation. Last year was in back-to-back Victory Bowl appearances for the SAGU Lions. This is a good program that if you can get a win against would be kind of that planting the flag landmark. We belong here in the conference. So come in ready to throw everything at the wall. See if you can catch a team kind of reeling from a real big loss last week. See if you can catch them off guard and pull off the upset.
In games like these where the team coming onto the road really has nothing to lose, they are some of the most fun teams to watch, and it can get competitive if you know that team, if you don't come in as SAGU knowing that team has no reason to not hold anything back and just going to throw everything they have at you, it can get dangerous really quickly. So it's definitely one to keep an eye on. Let's move to the other sideline here for the hometown SAGU Lions. First key is just to bounce back. We said it last week, a bounce back game needed to happen against Texas Wesleyan, and quite simply, it did not. You came off of a 51-0 loss just 7 days ago, 3 straight home losses, and not any of them were really all that close. Just have been blowouts here in front of your home crowd. This is a team that you should have marked on the board as a possible likely win against the Stallions coming into the season. Now, you don't want to ever look past any opponent, but this should be a game that you should be, for lack of a better term, favored in against the Stallions. Let's make this a get-right game. Bounce back. Get something in the win column here at home. Then the second one, we're going to talk about winning up front. You had mentioned it for the Stallions to stack the box, improve that run defense. SAGU's got to improve the run offense. Their rushing offense has been relatively non-existent. If you take sacks into consideration for last week, they were around this negative 70-yard rushing mark last week. Not what you want to do. You're not going to win many ball games. I'm going to say you're not going to win any ball games when you are have a rushing attack like that. It's been non-existent. Under 3 yards of carry as a team. Win the fight up front. Control the tempo. Keep the defense off the field. That's one of the things we've been seeing way too often. I'm going to mention that here in just a second. But just win the battle up front. And then, of course, the third point, stay ahead of the sticks. Now, what that means is convert on first and second downs. Third and longs have been the biggest enemy for SAGU. They have had a lot of incomplete passes on first down or -2, and then on second down, you're basically conceding that you're going to get to 3rd and 10, 3rd and long. Stay ahead of those sticks. Don't be content with getting to 3rd down. You want to move the chains as often as possible, because then it flips around to the defensive side of the ball. Your defense has been on the field way too much this season. And Tim, you had mentioned it last week when the SAGU Lions defense was not taking over in their own territory. They actually looked really good against Texas Wesleyan. They held their own, got some stops, but when the offense, and of course wind played a factor, which is not really a factor here today. It's pretty stale air here in Waxahachie. It played a factor, and you were often defending a very short field. You want to avoid that at all possible, and it really does start with the offense to try to get some momentum going.
Yeah, and because that really was, when we kept track of it, I believe Texas Wesleyan started 6 drives in their own end of the field, which is a tiny number to begin with.
Yeah.
But on those 6 drives, SAGU gave up 10 points, which against a top 20 team, that's exactly what you're expecting to give up when when you're going against an offense that well. You got to give your defense room to breathe. So now moving on to some key players to watch for the North American University Stallions. First is wide receiver Jason Reeves. In that win over Texas College, he had 3 touchdown catches. Those are his only 3 touchdown catches of the year, but he bunched them all together for that big win on the road. Again, their first NAIA win. Second, defensive back Carlos Johnson. He leads the team with 34 total tackles on the season. And last, we'll see who comes out at quarterback. Obviously, a young team trying to figure out who they're going to be there. But quarterback Griffin Williams led the team with those 3 touchdown passes in that lone win. So may see some of him today, may see some of some other quarterbacks. But that's one of the guys to watch as well.
And then for SAGU, the players to watch, I just have here QB1. We've seen split reps essentially. Briley Green in the first half, Jamonte Gordon-West in the second half. Whoever the guy is at the helm for the Lions, they have to lead this offense to be better. And we mentioned it earlier, bounce back, get right game. This is the game where you sort of want to light up that stat sheet any way you can. We've seen Gordon-West have 6 touchdowns in a game this year. We'll see if he can maybe get another 6 this game. This is the game that you want to do it for. Flipping around to the defensive side of the ball, Keith Hargraves. We talked about him early on in the season as one of the leaders of this defense, and he has been flying around the ball this year. Has been one of their better defenders, and a defense that has looked pretty good despite what the total numbers look like. The defense has looked pretty good. And then lastly, Ryan Lewis. You don't ever want to refer to a punter as maybe a weapon, but he is absolutely a weapon. We'd like to not see Ryan at all here today as a couple of SAGU fans, but if you do need to trot him out onto the field, it's important to flip the field position, and it is something that Ryan Lewis has had a very good start to his young career doing, despite last week where you're kicking into 15, 20, 25-mile-an-hour winds and the ball just kind of dies, and I think last week he might have had a 4-yard punt. It wasn't ideal conditions. You can't hold that against Ryan Lewis. What are you supposed to do? You can't do anything about that. So look for him today. If he does have to come out onto the field, look for him to continue his good young career in flipping the field and giving the Stallions as bad a field position as they could possibly get for good old Ryan Lewis. Now, if you are watching on your TV or your phone, go ahead and pull us up on either other of the platforms. You can go ahead and chat on your phone while you're watching on the TV. And as you know, if you have ever seen a SAGU Sports Network broadcast, we love to hear from the people watching. We'll feature your comments on stream, on the screen while you're watching. Give a shout out to your favorite player, son, whatever you want to do. Just give us a shout, and we will put those comments up on the screen. And then if you're not already, follow us on all of our other platforms, Facebook, Twitch, of course, YouTube and Twitter, X, whatever they're calling it nowadays. I'm still just going to call it Twitter, Tim. It's just ingrained in me. I can't think of anything else. Go ahead and give us a follow. You don't want to miss a minute of this action when it comes to the SAGU Sports family, including happening right now, the Lady Lions volleyball team, and we were going to talk about it here in a little bit. I'm just excited for Coach Moore. We talked about it last week. He had the opportunity, if things lined up right, to get his 500th career win on Friday night, and he did indeed pick up that 500th win. Congratulations to Coach Hank Moore picking up the win against John Brown, which has always kind of been a thorn in the side of the Lady Lions volleyball team. So that's a big win and a very, very big milestone for Coach Moore.
And again, they are going live right now on this. That's why we call it the SAGU Sports Network, because we've got 2 live broadcasts going right now. So if you want to get one thing going on the TV, pull it up on the phone as well. Check in on them as they are taking on the Oklahoma City Stars over there, a longtime powerhouse in the Sooner Athletic Conference, looking to keep their season rolling as they are second place right now in the conference. And again, huge congratulations to Coach Moore, simply one of the best coaches, but I would say probably safely say the best coach in SAGU athletics history for all he has consistently done with that volleyball team. And he has another good squad this year, looking to try to get back to that NAIA national tournament, get another crack at that. You know they want one.
Oh, absolutely. Last year, finishing undefeated in conference play. They got their rings from last year this season. You know it's still fresh on their mind. At 100%, it's got to be, they may not say that it's on their mind. They may be thinking ahead, thinking of this season, but every single one of those returning players, and Coach Moore included, they're thinking about that from last season.
And, once you crack into the national tournament, it's the new benchmark for everything. I remember when SAGU's basketball team first made the national tournament truly back in 2013. From that point on, you had to keep making it back.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're about just seconds away from action here in Waxahachie. We're going to take you down live to the field for the opening prayer, national anthem, and the coin toss right here on the SAGU Sports Network.
Texas for today's showdown between the Southwestern Assemblies of God University Lions and the North American University Stallions. At this time, we ask everyone to stand and remove your hats as we honor God by a prayer from SAGU Director of Athletics Communications, Darian Davis. We ask you to then remain standing and face the flag as we honor our nation with the playing of our national anthem.
Dear Heavenly Father, as we gather here on this special senior day, we come with you with gratitude in our hearts for the journey that has brought us to this moment. We thank you for the gift of football and the bonds of friendships that has formed on this field. Lord, we ask you for guidance and protection as our seniors take the field and grant them strength and courage so that they may play with all their heart and leave nothing behind. We also pray for the entire team, coaches, and the opposing team. May this game be played in the spirit of sportsmanship and respect for one another. Keep all players safe from harm and injury. And as we celebrate our seniors and the dedication they've showed, let this day be a reminder of the lessons learned, the character built, and the friendships cherished throughout their football careers. Bless this game, the fans, and the community gathered here to support the teams. And in your name we pray and play. Amen.
So proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous
hearts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
As the teams prepare to meet at midfield for the coin toss, we'll see who will take over here first from Lumpkin Stadium in Waxahachie, Texas. Tim, if you guys are just now joining us, we want to go ahead and honor the seniors that were honored at the beginning of the game. Number 4, Joseph Chavez. Number 5, Lontarius McLean. Number 6, Dalton Spencer. Number 7, Dylan Alford. Number 17, Justin Campbell. Number 19, Carlos Charleston. Number 44, Latrell Tibbett. Number 55, Noah Gibson. Number 78, Hunter Griffin. And number 88, Jamal Long. And the good thing about Senior Day today, Tim, is those are all contributors.
Yeah.
Contributors, both offensively and defensively. So we're going to get to see their names called a lot today.
Yeah, every single name on that list is a guy who was out here making plays, which not necessarily the best thing moving forward. You have to replace those guys, but absolutely, seniors who have stayed here a long time and done a lot of great work. Looks like North American University won the toss and has elected to defer to the second half.
So SAGU will open with possession here to start this game. We saw that last week. Texas Wesleyan deferred to the second half and then, again, deferred to kick it in the second half. They kicked both to start both halves last week, really using that win to their advantage. It really played a big part in last week's game.
So we will get to see SAGU's offense for the first time. Again, an offense that has struggled mightily here at home. Now, it's been unfortunate for them that they have been at home against 3 of the better opponents here in the Sooner Athletic Conference. So their first real chance here with a team that they really feel like they should have a good chance of beating in the North American University Stallions. A team who, unfortunately for them, gained a little bit of college football notoriety earlier this season. If you follow, different Twitter accounts that manage all, of college football, they fell 91-0 to Division I FCS Portland State. What made that all the more ironic is just 2 weeks before, Portland State had scheduled their maybe pay-to-play type game against Oregon, as in the Oregon Ducks, who won 81-7. So it was just kind of a trickle-down effect of blowouts between those two teams. So yeah, North American University got their name in the papers. Yeah, they say no press is bad press, but not the kind you necessarily want to get as a football program. So looking, as we mentioned, for the kind of their first landmark win here in Waxahachie today.
And we are underway as the Stallions kick it away to SAGU. SAGU fields it. It's bobbled, picked up at the 5-yard line. Here is Colby Tanner rather. Tanner gets bottled up and brought down at the 11-yard line is where they're going to mark him as forward progress, and this is a long field to go here for the SAGU offense as Briley Green trots out onto the field to start this game at quarterback. We'll see what kind of game plan they come up with today, Tim.
This is a place they found themselves a lot last week, pinned deep in their own end, and this time it's self-inflicted. Nothing, not a great punt, not a turnover on downs or anything. A muffed kickoff, and they have a 89-yard field to work with. Briley Green with no setbacks at the moment.
Green comes out empty backfield. Takes the snap, he's back to pass. Clean pocket, let's go across middle field. Off the hands of his intended receiver, Jamal Long, who we've seen have a really good couple of last games. Jamal Long has been playing angry, just threw his hands that time.
And working him in more as a tight end slot receiver as well. Typically he was more of a straight up outside receiver. Trying to work him in as a tight end. He's been that over the middle target, really the only over the middle target they've had to work with so far this year.
2nd and 10 incoming here. He has DeKevian Rose in the backfield. He's back to pass here on second down. Quick hitter to the flats. Has his man Alford. Alford ducks out of bounds about a yard shy of the first down. And that's somebody we've seen them get involved more here. Is a dangerous kick returner, but has shown flashes at slot receiver.
So that'll bring up 3rd and short. Again, the kind of area you want to be able to have a rushing attack and be able to get that push on the line. 2 yards shouldn't be that hard to pick up.
3rd and 2. It's a long 2. It's 3rd and almost 2.5. Here's Green in the pistol. Sends a man in motion. He hands it off to Rose. Rose hit initially, no gain. That'll bring up 4th and 1. They're going to give him about a yard of progress. But as it stands, 4th and 1.
He gains a yard.
And the punting unit will trot out onto the field. And that is a 3 and out for SAGU to start this game.
And yet again, simply no push up front. The North American defensive line dominating. Nowhere for DeKevian Rose to go. And that has been his story all year long. No room to work with at all.
And here is Ryan Lewis. He is punting into the wind. There is a little bit of wind today. I'm not sure it's as bad as it was last week. A little bit of wind. End over end punt will land at the 50. Almost hits a Stallion player. Does a good job of getting away from it, but a good job by Ryan Lewis to flip the field, get it down to the 35. And that is where the Stallions will take over here on offense for the first time this afternoon.
Yeah, that was very close to going off the heel or toe. I couldn't quite tell, but barely missed, and a nice friendly roll will put the ball inside the 40. Like I said, just a little bit of wind, so we'll see who trots out here. It looks like it will be number 7, Jesper Korkalainen, who will come out at quarterback for the Stallions. Wearing their all-white road uniforms.
That's a good look, man. I love the all-whites.
As a Penn State fan, I figured you probably would be a fan of the all-white look.
Oh, yeah. You assumed correctly, Tim. 1st and 10 here for Korkalainen. In the shotgun, 2 to his right, 1 to his left, 1 man in the backfield. Tries to get SAGU to jump low snap, fakes a handoff, he's back to pass, plants his foot. It's hit up into the air and falls to the turf harmlessly. And that's always scary when that ball gets batted into the air, and it seems like it hangs up for an eternity. Unfortunately for the Stallions, it falls incomplete.
Now, I do have to ask, as a Cowboys hater, what was your opinion of the all-white Cowboys uniforms on Monday night? White helmets, white pants, white jerseys.
You're going to be shocked to hear this, Tim. Beautiful.
Oh, wow. Oh,
beautiful.
The first kind words I've ever rinsed out of you about the Dallas Cowboys. Unbelievable.
And maybe the last. 2nd and 10 here for the Stallions. They will hand it off on 2nd and long. Good move. Jumps to the outside. He's got a blocker in front of him. Turning on the Jets. Gets past the 50. A good run there on 2nd and long.
That's DeRoderick Hadnot. And a shifty back right there. A quick move outside. Left everyone standing still. The little running back, as we mentioned, that's kind of been a style that more and more teams have gone to, having these, call him a prototypical small guy back there that can just blend into the tackles and hide behind. He was quick.
Fresh set of downs here. The first snap for either team in opponent territory. They will hand it off in 1st down. This time, swallowed up and brought down for a loss of, call it 3. That'll bring up 2nd and 13.
Noah Gibson comes straight up the gap. And that's the problem with small running backs. When they have the room to work with, they're gone. Otherwise, they're not going to escape the grasp of a big defensive lineman like Noah Gibson, going for a 3-yard loss on first down.
2nd and 13 incoming here for the Stallions. Right about at the midfield marker, right on the W here for Waxahachie. Sends a man in motion. Korkalainen will turn around, hand it off again. Had not, swallowed up quickly again. This time, no gain. It'll bring up 3rd and 13.
And it was again Noah Gibson in helping disrupt it. Quavion Mitchell finishes the job. So after the big run, they're going to actually give him maybe just a loss of 1 on the end there, but it'll be 3rd and long regardless. So after the big run, SAGU's defense stuffs him twice. Might have to see Korkalainen go through the air now.
Watch out for these edge rushers for SAGU. They love 3rd and long situations. You got Quavion Mitchell on one side, Keith Hargraves on the other, and they love getting after the quarterback. 3rd and long, Korkalainen fakes the handoff, back to pass. It's a screen. He completes it. Breaks a tackle. Man miss. Gets brought down at the original line of scrimmage. That brings up 4th and 10. Tim, that looked like right at the beginning, maybe there was something there, but good job by the Lions to close on that quickly.
Great job by the secondary. When you have a untouched rush like that and you don't get to the quarterback, he's able to dump it off to the man in the short, that's when things can get very dangerous, when you over-pursued like that. The secondary did a good job of staying at home. Couple of yards given up, not going to give up that first down. That's always a scary moment when you bring the full house blitz and don't get home. You run the risk, but defense held up there, and after the one big run, they stopped the Stallions, who will now be punting with a very spread out wide punt formation.
The punt is away. It's an end-over-end punt. Fair catch called for, and I was going to say, it looked like he called the fair catch. Maybe he had unintentionally done it, then saw the field in front of him, but regardless, the SAGU Lions will take over at the 8-yard line.
It'll be 1st and 10.
Second straight drive that they'll start deep in their own territory. That is the one big benefit of, getting any sort of play at all. If you just keep field position pushed against your opponent, especially an opponent that struggled this much on offense, and you look at that long field ahead of them.
1st and 10 here for SAGU. Briley Green will turn around, hand it off to Kevion Rose. Rose, 2 yards and a cloud of dust, gets down to the 10-yard line.
Gang tackle. It looked like it was mostly led by Edtavius Drayton. Comes untouched to the side. Is one that seals off, doesn't give Rose any chance of breaking off or bouncing off of that tackle. Gain of 2 on first down, and still nothing doing up the middle for this offensive line.
Empty backfield here for Briley Green. 2nd and 8. Takes a snap, he's back to pass. Clean pocket, lets it go, looking for Tanner, and it is incomplete. Good coverage that time by Jaheim Evans. It was right there. Had it been completed, it was right around that first down marker, but brings up 3rd and 8.
And that is a perfectly timed play by Evans. Read it and got the hand in, made that contact right as the ball arrived. That's always that 50-50 shot. If you get there that half second early, you're going to draw a first down allowing penalty. Instead, he breaks it up, and 3rd and long for the Lions.
Here is Green on 3rd and 8. Back to pass, he's going to roll out to his right. Gets around that edge defender, lets it go. Incomplete, out of bounds. That brings up 4th and 8, and the punting unit back out onto the field.
This front line for the Stallions, they're winning at every phase so far, not allowing any room to run and putting pressure on Briley Green anytime he's dropped back to pass. And that marks, had to count it up, Adam, because you got to keep track of the stats sometimes. Going back to last week, that marks the 9th consecutive 3-and-out for the SAGU Lions.
Punt from Lewis, bounces at the 40, goes out of bounds. The Stallions will take over in SAGU territory here from the 39-yard line.
A 30-yard punt by Ryan Lewis.
Field position, a factor early on, just like last week. Last week the wind was blowing west to east. It is reversed this week, coming east to west from the right side of the screen to the left side of the screen. So whereas last week SAGU was pinned down on the right side of the screen all week, so far they've been pinned down to the left side. And great starting field position for the Stallions. They had the one big play the last drive, looking to get the first points on the board.
Corkalanen sends a man in motion on first down. He will hand it off, trying to bounce to the outside. Is Hadnot cannot get anything going there. He's going to lose 4 on first down. Good job by SAGU's defensive front after giving up that long run, shutting everything down since.
Yeah, and I think you have to treat a quick running back like this very differently. You don't worry so much about the gaps up front. You just want to make sure he doesn't get around to the outside. You can trust your linebackers to make the tackle at the second level. You just got to make sure you seal these edges off so he can't beat you to the corners.
2nd and 14 incoming here for Corkalanen in this offense. He sends Hadnot in motion. He hands it off here on second down, looking to get to the outside. He's got a seam, and he takes advantage of it. Lowers his shoulder and gets brought down right at that marker. That was Aline Hogan with the carry on 2nd and long, and he got awfully close to the first down. I think he's just shy.
Yeah, they're going to mark him a half yard short. And I imagine the Stallions will end up having 2 chances at this one. Bring it out with looks like a heavy, first of all, it was going to be a heavy set. They spread out now wide, but they do have 2 running backs in the backfield. And
he fumbled the ball.
Play.
The ball's on the ground. There is a dog pile for it. Quavion Mitchell says SAGU has it, waiting for a ruling. We have not seen a ruling yet by the officials.
SAGU tossed the ball to the side judge. And we have not seen a ruling, but it has to be SAGU's ball.
And there it is, SAGU football. The exchange was fumbled on the snap and just laid there. And SAGU gets the turnover, albeit maybe a lucky one on the exchange.
Corkalanen, you could tell things were out of sorts. You know, you're looking at a 3rd and 1. And you're going to have, if they're really 3rd and half a yard, you're going to have 2 shots at this. You've been running okay, and it felt like there was a lot of miscommunication in the backfield. That might have been a time you want to, set things back up, call a timeout. Instead, obviously maybe a missed snap count, and SAGU catches a big break to get the ball back.
Here is Green on 1st and 10 after the turnover, hands it off. He's got some running room here. Cuts upfield to Kevion Rose, has a nice gain of, call it 8 there on first down, make it 2nd and 2.
Good block by Jamal Long, of all people, to seal off that edge and give Rose any sort of room to work with. That's been the rarity at this point, to pick up the yardage you're looking for on a first down run, to open that playbook up to multiple options on these next 2 plays.
2nd and 2 incoming. Here's Green. He's got 2 to his right, 1 to his left. He sends a man in motion. Takes a snap, turns around, hands it off to Rose. Rose looks to get to the outside. Another good block. Fights through contact. Flag comes in from behind the play. As it stands, it'll be a first down, but that is more often than not the area of holding. It looks like it might be coming back.
Will be coming back. One of those plays that just took too long to develop. Rose immediately heading straight for the sideline, trying to pick up those extra yards he needs to get the first down, but it took him so long to get there.
On the offense, number 54, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Replays taken out.
Like I said, eventually it took so long to get there. Emmanuel Watkins is going to hold. You'll see on the replay here, and he's there. Yep, right there on second level, dragging the guy to the ground. One of those situations where it probably wouldn't have impacted the play. If he'd let him loose, more than likely Rhodes is still going to get to that corner, pick up the first down, but you draw a tough holding penalty. It was 1 yard up the field, so they won't lose the full 10. It'll be a 9-yard penalty. Nevertheless, it erases that first down run and brings up 2nd and long.
2nd and 11. Here is Green. He's back to pass. He's going to throw it up, looking to the sideline. Odidi falls over and cannot bring it in. Lost his footing, and he knows it. And had a little bit of space to work with. Could not connect.
One-on-one coverage. Yeah, looks like it's a bit underthrown. Odidi couldn't turn back around and get to it. It landed inbounds, so had he been able to make the tight cut, he's probably going to be able to fight back, use his body to catch that one. Falls harmlessly, however, and the Lions are right back where they don't want to be. 3rd and long. Still looking for their first down of the game here on their 3rd drive.
Trying to avoid another 3 and out here. They have not picked up a first down yet today. 3rd and 11. Green back to pass. He lets it go. Looking down the sideline. Contact. And SAGU will pick up its first down of the afternoon by way of penalty. Tyson Nanette, the intended receiver, and contact down the field by Jaheim Evans.
And it looks like Evans loses track of where he is on the field.
On the defense, number 13. That's a spot foul. Automatic first down.
So I don't think he really knew that Nanette was there. He is dropping back. He's going to lose this ball as it goes up in the air and make a wrong turn and bump into him. You see him turn around. He doesn't even know where the ball is. But it definitely prohibited Nanette from making any sort of play on the ball, even if it wasn't the best thrown pass. And so SAGU does pick up a first down, just not on their own.
They will hand it off to Rose. Rose looking to the outside, cuts it back up midfield, falls forward for another good gain there on first. Call it 7, bring up 2nd and 3.
Good to see a little bit of traction on this rushing attack now. 2 good runs by Rose on this drive. And the offensive line's goal, as we've said, when you're really struggling, just focus on getting in the way, just buying time. You don't have to blow open a wide hole, just stall for any sort of time to let the running back get moving. They do enough there to set up a 2nd short.
And they will hand it off here on 2nd down. Cuts it upfield. This time, nothing doing for the backup running back that time. Comes into the game, picks up a carry. Draylon Taylor makes it 3rd and 3.
Brought in the wide receivers tight to try to keep those edges sealed, but containment was broken pretty quick. Nowhere to go in 3rd and, long 2 here. Need to get to the 45-yard line.
Third and 3 incoming. Here's Briley Green. 2 to his right, 1 to his left. Pistol formation. Back to pass. Quick hitter looking for Nanette. Nanette brings it in. Tyson Nanette. Tough catch. First down, Lions.
Evans timed that one great again. I thought that was going to get dislodged. Has to kind of go behind his body, rouse it in, and SAGU has their first proper first down of this game, and they're down to the 41-yard line of the Stallions.
Moving the chains are the Lions. They're really their first opportunity here in Stallion territory. Green on first down. High snap, and it's on the ground. Green falls on it. And just as I said it, they are now back in their own territory. They'll take this next snap from their 49-yard line.
There's the phrase 2 steps forward and 1 step back. Well, that's more just 2 steps forward and 3 steps back. That has not been an issue for the Lions much this season. With all the offensive line struggles they've had, the center quarterback exchange has not been one of them. We have not seen a lot of bad shotgun snaps, so that uncharacteristic mistake right there will, at the moment, put a big damper on what was finally a little bit of momentum on the Lions offense.
Instead, it is 2nd and 20. Here is Green from the 49. Low snap this time, back to pass, lets it go across the middle. Incomplete, a lot of contact in the middle of the field, and no flag. Tyson Nanette, the intended receiver, he might have got away with one there, Tim.
Evans definitely has a hold of his shoulder pad as he makes that move, and so much of that is do you get your hand on the ball. If you're able to actually make them move around and get your hand on the ball, the referees are going to sometimes let that slide. If you don't get your hand on the ball, it's totally obvious that you've interfered with it. They'll let you fight for a little positioning. Probably got a little bit away with a little bit of holding there for sure.
3rd and 20. Here is Briley Green. Back to pass. He lets it go, looking deep down the sideline. Has his man, brings it in. Paul O'Deedy, a huge gain on 3rd and 20. Moves the chains, and SAGU.
Oh, there is a flag at the line of scrimmage. We will wait, and SAGU is walking back after a brilliant throw.
Holding on the offense, number 54. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay 3rd down.
2nd hold on Emmanuel Watkins here in the 1st quarter, and a brilliantly placed pass to convert the 2nd and 20 is erased.
And it happened on that left side of the line. The pressure was almost immediate. It almost felt like the play didn't go on long enough for there to be a holding call.
Yeah.
And that is unfortunate for the Lions. But save that one because that is a good throw and catch from Green to Odidi. But it brings up 3rd and 30 from their own 39-yard line.
Just flip to the back page of the playbook here.
And they will hand it off here and kind of concede the drive. Gets brought down after a gain of 5, and SAGU will trot the punting unit back out onto the field.
He's tackled at the
Trying to pick up a
45-yard
few
line.
extra yards to hopefully flip this field position back, but that is a tough one to swallow after you get a great throw from Bradley Green. Odidi does a great job of hauling it at the sideline, and it's all for nothing because of the holding penalty. So Ryan Lewis will come on to punt it away.
And he does get it away. It's a spiraling punt, a high punt. And then it's fielded. A fair catch was called for.
Yep.
And it just because it hit the ground doesn't mean you can pick it up and run with it. At the 24-yard line, that is where the Stallions will take over.
Yeah, he regrets calling for it. Now, obviously, he was only allowed to, move into that blank space because he had called for the fair catch. But once he picked it up and he saw nothing but green, he really hoped that he had not done that. Maybe he was thinking the refs hadn't seen it.
Well, we've just heard final score for the Lady Lions volleyball team. 3 straight sets against the Oklahoma City Stars. And that is always a big win when you can take on Oklahoma City, especially in straight sets. They have been a thorn in the side of the Lady Lions volleyball team for many, many years.
Hold and serve, so to speak, as they move in to take on the Lady Rams later this year to try to determine the conference champion.
A run here on first down gets a whole lot of running for just 2 yards. Got around the edge, did Aline Hogan, but could not find that outer edge. Makes it 2nd and 8.
Coach Hank Moore now gets his first win on his march to 1,000 all time.
Win number 501 for Hank Moore.
4:99 to go. Here we go.
2nd and 8 here for the Stallions. Coming up on 3 minutes left to play here in quarter number 1. No score yet here from Waxahachie. Both teams looking to do some damage here on offense for the first time today. Back to pass. Gets it out into the flat, and he's got his man wrapped up immediately. Aline Hogan took the pass from Jesper Korkalainen, and nothing doing there. Actually loses 3.
And that's some miscommunication. Tyrell Williams is needing to be the blocker on that throw, but instead he runs a route. SAGU reads the screen perfectly, and there's 2 guys waiting right there to easily corral him.
3rd and 11 here upcoming for the Stallions. The SAGU defense has done a really good job on 3rd down so far in this game. Korkalainen, 2 to his right, 1 to his left, 2 in the backfield. Takes a snap, looks one way, flips it back across the other way, incomplete. Hits the turf, his intended receiver just too far out in front of him that time for Tyrell Williams. That brings up 4th down, and that's a 3 and out for the Stallions.
SAGU's defense applying just enough pressure too to make Korkalainen get the ball out a hair too soon. So a big stand to, again, hopefully get this field position flipped back the other way. And that's been the whole story so far of the first quarter, is just trying to, shift where the ball is landing at the moment, see who's going to be able to finally break through on offense.
Anthony Skembry on to punt. And he does get it away. End over end punt. Brought in at about the 32. Tries to make a man miss. Was Tyson the net. Could not find any room to work with. Gets brought down at the 29-yard line. And that is where the SAGU offense will take over.
That's a solid punt by Skembry, having to move to his right to avoid any pressure. Does a good job of pinning the SAGU Lions back inside their 30. They'll get their 4th crack at it of the game. This is about where they took over on their 3rd drive, where they were able to get into Stallion territory before 2 penalties completely stole. I'm sorry, a botched snap and a penalty. It was 2 10-yard losses that really stalled the drive out.
1st and 10. Here's Green looking across the middle of the field. Fires into traffic. Nothing there. That was completely blanketed by the Stallions defense.
Yeah, Trey Gabriel is over the top, and if the ball is not batted down by number 28, I think Gabriel's going to be able to intercept it. It's one of those times that, if number 28 on that play, Otta Bonner, does not bat that down, I think Trey Gabriel's going to have a chance to pick it. He had the better positioning. Either way, Briley Green just missed both of them and is very lucky to not turn that ball over.
2nd and 10 here for Green. From the pistol, will turn around and hand it off on 2nd and long. Bouncing off tackles, falling forward is DeKevian Rose. And that brings up 3rd and call it 7.
I'm going to fight for anything he's got here. Has a little bit of a seam, but took a little bit too long to develop, and number 44 finally breaks up his man, Andrew Laws, to throw Rose off his feet and call it 3rd and a long 6. SAGU was able to convert 1 3rd down on their last drive and nearly converted another before penalty.
3rd and 6 here for Green in the offense. The Stallions bring pressure. Briley rolls right into it and has to throw it away. He finds Quavion Mitchell on the sidelines. Not who you're looking for on offense, and that'll bring up another 4th down and another 3 and out here for SAGU.
A lot of pressure, and it was number 42, Edtavius Drayton, who became untouched and forced the ball out far too soon for Briley Green. Simply had to throw it away to a spot on the field. And nothing doing for the SAGU offense yet again. They pick up 4 yards and have to punt it away.
Lewis gets it away, a spiraling punt. Takes a SAGU bounce, gets out of bounds at the 33-yard line.
Ball is spotted at the 33-yard line.
And another first quarter where we've had a lot of drives. Obviously, last week was a giant anomaly as the SAGU Lions had to run 7 drives last week in the first quarter. Now, a lot of that was Texas Wesleyan manipulating the clock, making sure they could utilize that win to their full advantage. But that's already the 4th drive of this game. There's still 1:14 in the first quarter. And, of course, when the drives are short, they can get stacked together pretty fast.
A handoff here on 1st down goes nowhere. In fact, a loss of 2. Make it 2nd and 12 for the Stallions.
Outside of that one run, SAGU's defense has come to play as well. North American, of course, has struggled on offense throughout the year. They've been held to 12 total yards or fewer 3 different times this season. In their last game that they played against Louisiana Christian, they totaled negative 25 yards. So they have definitely struggled on offense themselves. We know the SAGU defense can excel, and so far they are showing that they have the ability to completely bottle up these Stallions, just hoping they can buy enough time for their offense to find some momentum.
Fakes a handoff, looking out to the flat. Big hit across the middle. He does bring in the catch. That is a heck of a catch for Colby Clark, but man, what a violent collision.
Ronnie Murphy lower the shoulder. That's how they teach it. Don't lead with the head. Throw that shoulder pad in there. Throw the man off his mark. Great tackle and honestly a better catch when you get hit that hard. A solid football play, and it will be the final play of the first quarter. Time will expire, and the Stallions will be facing a 3rd and 7 in this 0-0 ball game.
And the Stallions nothing.
And we are the only game in action right now. I got 3 p.m. kickoffs. And then, of course, the big 7 p.m. kickoff tonight could determine the winner of the Sooner Athletic Conference. Be sure and comment on YouTube. Let us know what you think about the game. Give a shout out to your player and let us know where you're watching. We always try to keep track of how far away the stretch of the SAGU Sports Network goes. We've had, I believe, Guam, was it this year? I think that's the record. I think Guam is the record so far this year. I honestly, I don't think you go any further. I think that might be the furthest point on earth from Waxahachie. So you may not be able to beat it, but let us know where you're watching from. I know we've had Mongolia before.
Key phrase, you said on earth. So if you're on the International Space Station, let us know.
Hey, you know, that new goal. to have somebody in space. Even if you're on just one of those Elon Musk trips that only takes you to like fake space, it's like, you're technically in space. Like, I'm sorry, unless there's nothing but stars and there's no gravity, I don't count it. Just because you paid $1 billion to have Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos fly you up, 30 miles. We'll count it though if you're watching on that rocket as well, Blue Origin or whatever it's called.
3rd and 7 here for the Stallions, and
that's
a
be
flag.
A 5-3,
I believe that's going to be against SAGU. Contact was made at the top of your screen.
Oh,
wow. So there's going to be a conversation here. It looked like SAGU jumped.
There was definitely a head bob up front, but it's hard to tell if the head bob came as SAGU was coming across the line. It all seemed pretty instantaneous on the replay there, and that is exactly what this officiating crew is trying to deduce, and they don't have the benefit of replay. Let's watch it here. Yeah, that is a simultaneous jump, really. Number 15 for the Lions, Isaiah Moore, is going to jump right as, I believe, number 54, DeCarveranta Price, is bobbing his head. So I know in baseball, tie goes to the runner. In football, when you have a false start offsides combo, who gets the call?
Oh, you never know. Who do the officials have on the money line?
They're fouls by both teams.
At that point. There we go.
On the offense, number 63. Offsides. On the defense, number 5, making contact. Those penalties all set. Replay 3rd down.
That's the first time.
I have never seen
By
that.
the nature of the rule, a false start has to be the infraction.
But literally, as we saw in the replay, it was borderline instantaneous jumping on both sides. I have never seen, and I have watched too much football in my life. You can ask my wife. I have never seen an offsetting false start offsides penalty. That is wild, but I understand it. Watching the replay, I absolutely understand how I don't know what the correct call would be in that circumstance.
3rd and 7, a screen, and there's contact right at the point where the ball was. The officials say it was tipped, so no pass interference. That brings up 4th down, and that's another 3 and out here for the Stallions.
I don't believe it was tipped.
I don't either.
But it is a weird circumstance where I believe the ball was actually landing, it was landing behind the line of scrimmage. So even if it wasn't tipped, you cannot interfere with a pass behind the line of scrimmage. So there was contact, but it was at the 35-yard line. As you see, the ball was at 36. So not the correct call on the tip pass, but overall the correct call, since you can't interfere with a guy who is actually behind where the ball is being thrown.
Oh, snap goes over to the punter's head, and it's a live ball. He picks it up. He's going to get brought down, and that is a huge play for this SAGU special teams unit. They will get to take over at the 9-yard line. There is a flag on the field about the 35-yard line, and that's around that original line of scrimmage. So let's see what this is.
Ball goes straight over his head.
Keith Hargraves is not going to let a punter get out of his grasp.
If anything, that's when you might just want to rear back and kick it out the back of the end zone rather than try and make something happen. Although you may trust your defense in this situation as well.
Let's see the call.
Offense, number 29 was covered up and went in motion. That penalty's declined. Result of the play. It's 4th down, got to recover. 1st down.
So essentially will go down as a turnover on downs on the botched punt. And if you are looking for any momentum on offense, you will never be gifted a better opportunity than this. 1st and goal at the 9-yard line. Your defense has done everything for you. They've recovered a fumble, and they've now essentially forced a deep turnover in Stallion territory. You have got to get in the end zone here. Settling for a field goal when you get the ball at the 9-yard line is simply unacceptable.
1st and goal from the 9-yard line. Here is Briley Green to pass on 1st down, looking for Odidi in the corner of the end zone. Off of his hands, falls incomplete. We'll bring up 2nd and goal.
Pass broken up by number 10.
2nd and goal.
And does a great job so far. This Stallions secondary. Too many horse mascots sometimes. You get them confused. The Stallions have done a great job in this secondary of breaking up some of these nice passes that have been thrown.
2nd and goal. They will turn around, pitch it. Rose looking to make something happen here. Hurdles a man, gets brought down. A short gain on 2nd and goal of, call it 1 yard. So that brings up now 3rd and goal from the 8-yard line. And like you said, a field goal here is
a huge win for the Stallions. And as I mentioned a second ago, in that situation, typically a punter might think of just kicking out of the back of the end zone. If your defense holds them to a field goal, well then, they have rewarded you with your faith, saying, oh, well, let's just see what happens. And on that play right there, from the moment that ball was snapped, there was not a win at all up front for the SAGU Lions. It was all white jerseys coming at them.
looking across the middle and into traffic. Incomplete. Looks like Jamal Long was the intended receiver. And 3 guys bracketing Long. It looks like the Stallions had a game plan and took away the biggest weapon that the SAGU Lions have in the red zone.
Chris Williams comes right up the gut as well and lays the hit on Briley Green. That ball harmlessly drifts out the back of the end zone. So now coming on for the field goal, 25-yard field goal attempt.
Jonah Osborne on to kick here. Like you said, 25-yard field goal on the way. Good snap, good hold. The kick is up, and it is good. And SAGU jumps out to a 3-0 lead off the foot of Jonah Osborne.
An all special teams led drive there. You get the botched punt and really still nothing doing for this offense. That's a time you've just got to find a way to pick up 9 yards, start to take control of this game after how good your defense has been. Instead, Stallions, after a huge miscue, are going to walk right back onto this field, about to get the ball back, only trailing 3-0.
You got to feel good if you're a Stallions fan. Great defense. It looked disastrous.
Yeah.
Letting up the punt going through the snap, going through the punter's hands, and then ultimately getting brought down at the 9-yard line. Surely you're thinking, quick score, having to get back out there on defense, or back out there on offense. But no, they did a good job standing up. They only allowed 1 yard.
And it's those little, Anthony Shembri has had some good punts today already, and it's those little things sometimes, it's the tackling the guy at the 1 yard line after an 87-yard gain. Doesn't feel like much, but Shembri having the presence of mind to get back there, scoop that ball up, and then not do something silly with it. Not try to throw it, not try to punt it and have it blocked. Just accept his losses and go down. Not let that be a touchdown. Obviously, he's not walking off the field feeling good about that, but after his defense rewards him, that might be a play you remember. Not doing something goofy in that situation that allows an instant touchdown. That you fumble it away and gets recovered, or you pull a Garo Yepremian and try to throw it and it bounces off and gets taken back for a touchdown.
That's a name that not many of our younger fans will know. Garo Yepremian.
You got to throw it out there sometime. So they Google it. So they go to YouTube.
Well, they got to spell it first.
And they just type in 1972 Miami Dolphins, Super Bowl 7, Garo Yepremian.
It is one of the clips that you see on every sports football blunders program. Yes. It's on there every time. Back to pass here on first down. They swing it out to the flat on first down. Makes a man miss. Goes forward for about 2 yards on first down. Make it 2nd and 8. That was Christian Warren, the freshman receiver.
Carlos Charleston, who's going to get the tackle. As if there was a little bit of room to work, and he had a lead blocker. Jalen Williams, the tight end, was about 3 yards further down the field. So if that tackle was not made by Charleston, he may have had a convoy to get the first down.
2nd and 8 incoming for the Stallions. Back to pass. Lets it go across the middle. Has his man. Good open field tackle by the SAGU defender. That was Braxton Bailey in the open field, bringing him down for just a 2-yard gain.
It's a tight out route there from Christian Warren, but a quick reaction. Doesn't allow any sort of yards after the catch. And will bring up 3rd and 6 for the Stallions. And SAGU's defense, outside of essentially a single play, has completely shut down this North American University offense.
Jesper Corkalainen back to pass, hit as he throws, and over the head of his intended receiver that time, Christian Warren again, who had a catch earlier on the drive. It's another 3 and out here for the Stallions, and they will bring out the punting unit.
It falls
I believe it was Joseph Chavez who brought the pressure right up the middle, and of course Noah Gibson was also in on the action. There's just a lot of guys. You really can't double team anybody on this defensive line because there's always somebody to pick up the slack if he has the free room to work with. So after holding them to the 3 and out that led to the botched punt, they get another 3 and out. And now watch this. Sometimes they overcompensate, so you might have a chance to get a block here.
Does end up getting the punt away. It's a low line drive, and it will take a stallion bounce and flip the field for NAU as it gets down at the 27-yard line. That's where SAGU will take over.
Another solid punt from Anthony Shimbre. And as I was pointing out there, and you kind of saw SAGU really bringing the pressure because there's that psychological thing of when you snap the ball over his head, you really are thinking about it too much. You can't think about it as a long snapper. It has to be purely automatic. And you'll see them drop it in a little bit low sometimes on the second time, and that can give you a shot at a block. So SAGU definitely brought the pressure there. But the snap was okay, the punt was even better, and SAGU will start off at their own 27-yard line.
1st and 10 here for Briley Green. He is back to pass. Quick hitter looking for Odidi. Odidi has it. Nice little gain there on 1st down of 6. Make it 2nd and 4.
Another solid play there by number 10. He was the one who broke up what could have been a corner touchdown pass quickly on that play, but it is a gain of 6. SAGU has been getting a little bit more success on these 1st down plays. They've just been unable to finish the job off. We've really seen them struggle because they'd lose yardage on 1st down or have an incomplete pass. They've been picking up 6-7 yards on 1st down, but still have not been able to move the chains with any sort of regularity.
2nd and 4 here for SAGU. We'll turn around, hand it off. Rose met immediately and brought down for a loss. Big 95, Josiah Walker meeting Rose in the backfield, dropping him for a loss. Brings up 3rd and 9.
And that guy should never come untouched. Walker, defensive tackle. He's got to have a hand laid on him, and he comes untouched up the middle. Not even much of a move at all, but he is quick. So once he was in the backfield, there was not a chance of that play succeeding. Brings up a 3rd and 9, another 3rd and long situation. It's been several times now that after a good gain on 1st down, SAGU is still facing a 3rd and long.
Back to pass, facing pressure. Green throws off his back foot right into the hands of a defender and falls to the turf. Incomplete. Amory Calhoun right in the face of Briley Green. And that was just immediate pressure.
Another dangerous one as Calhoun almost is able to get his hand underneath that. Had he been able to do that, that's a walk-in pick 6. But instead, it's another huge stand from the Stallions defense. And SAGU will yet again punt the ball away. Another 3 and out.
Lewis takes the snap, gets it away. A good spiraling punt is fielded at the 25. Tries to make an man miss, but gets spun down. No gain by Josh Butler. Or no, correction, I'm sorry. Alian Hogan.
And you probably couldn't quite see it on your screen. You wouldn't have the same vantage point. But that was a tight spiral on that punt. You'll see it come down right here. That thing was falling like a dart from the sky. No offense to either of these quarterbacks, but that's the best spiral we've seen today coming off the foot of the punter. And yet again will pin the ball inside the 30-yard line.
I think golf balls that have worse rotation than that one. Beautiful.
How do you hit a wobbly golf ball?
You know
Will proves how. Somehow we will find a way to hit a wobbly golf ball.
Just come watch me swing and you'll find out. 1st and 10 from the 26.
An end-over-end punt, a putt somehow. I don't even know. It seems impossible, but
you have not seen me play. Jesper Korkalainen will come out here from the 26. SAGU's defense has done a really good job so far, but they've been on the field a lot to start this game. So we'll see if they still have it in them here with about 11 to go. Another bobbled snap. It looks like the Stallions will land on top of it and limit the damage, only lose 2.
Recovered.
It's the second miscommunication we've seen on the snap today between center and quarterback. One from under center, another in shotgun.
And we do actually have a new quarterback into the game. Number 2 And I'm going to say Kobe Gatson into the game. If you're in chat, you can correct us on that if you happen to know the correct answer. The new quarterback in, and he's welcomed into the game with another center quarterback exchange issue. They had one earlier in the game on 3rd and 1 that turned the ball over deep in SAGU territory.
2nd and 13, he keeps it. Fighting upfield, it might be defensive back Jesus Beltran. I don't know, he looks like they maybe run a little option offense here.
On the 2 deep, Griffin Williams is listed as the 2nd string quarterback. He typically wears number 14. On our lineup sheet, Jesus Beltran is number 2, but he's listed as a defensive back. Kobe Gatson is also listed as a quarterback, and he wears number 1. So again, if you happen to be watching in chat,
just let us
and
know.
You know exactly who we should be calling here.
I'm going number 2. I'm going with Jesus Beltran.
For now, I'm going to pretend we're an unlicensed video game from the 1980s and just say QB2 into the game.
3rd and long. The lefty swings it out in and out of the hands of his intended receiver, Kegwan Palm. That'll bring up 4th down and 7, and the punting unit back out here for NAU.
Quick 3 and out, and obviously with both of these offenses, if you have a disruptive play on 1st down, lose any sort of yardage, just almost call it a day at that point. It does not feel like we're about to see anybody march 75 yards. What we saw a moment ago that gave SAGU their first 3 points is about the blueprint today for offensive success. SAGU showing a lot of pressure up front.
He ends up getting the punt away, end over end, hits at about the 40.
Look out. Oh.
Gets scary when you don't get away from the ball. It takes a Stallion bounce and settles at the 34-yard line.
Yeah, he had a SAGU line hanging a little bit too close to that. Obviously, had the shove succeeded in knocking him into that, it would have been a dead ball as soon as that happened. But regardless, when that ball starts squibbing sideways and you're not paying attention, that's how you make a devastating error that changes the way this game goes.
1st and 10 from the 34-yard line. Neither team with a touchdown yet today. SAGU holding on to a 3-0 lead thanks to a 25-yard field goal. See what they do here on offense. Green back to pass, looking across the middle of the field, and nothing there. Flag does come flying in. The intended receiver that time was Justin Bodion. A little bit of contact there. And it is, again, Jaheim Evans has been targeted a lot today, and he's a physical defensive back, has now got his 2nd pass interference penalty.
Pass interference. On the defense, number 10. That penalty spotted the foul, automatic 1st down.
So they went number 10 that time, actually, on the pass interference. That is Keyshawn Langham. I thought maybe they got Jaheim Evans again.
So that will be the 2nd 1st down by penalty. So the 2 teams now have 2 total 1st downs that they've gained themselves and 2 1st downs via penalty in this game.
Back to pass, he finds Jamal Long. Jamal Long breaks a tackle into the open field, takes a host of Stallion defenders to bring him down, and SAGU's got their best play of the afternoon down at the 26-yard line.
Finally zips one in there, finds a soft spot in the defense, and they were not playing deep enough. That can be a victim of your own success when you've been doing so well, as you don't have that guy playing deep enough to bottle that up. Once Long hauled that in, he had plenty of room to run. And SAGU with their biggest offensive play of the day down to the 26-yard line.
1st and 10 from the 26. Here's Green, 2 to his right, 1 to his left. On 1st down, back to pass again. Looking in the flat, has his man. He put that on a rope. Short gain there for a gain of 1. Finds his running back leaking out of the backfield, Draylon Taylor.
He gains a yard to the 30.
Bobbled it a little bit. Wouldn't have mattered much if you'd have hauled it in. Quick reaction, only a gain of 1. But yeah, I had to throw that in there with some force, as yet again that pressure was coming up the middle. The Stallions have been pretty much getting home to Briley Green and forcing him to get the ball out too soon or without the best look he wants on every single play.
2nd and 9 incoming here for Green in this offense. Back to pass on second down, looking at the quick hitter to the flat. A good catch, but brought down. Oh, he looks like he dropped it at the very end. Good hit there from Jaheim Evans, who is everywhere on the field.
Yeah, goes low to the ground, and that sometimes is the better way to knock it loose. When you hit the guy up top, he's able to adjust. When he gets tossed end over end like that and he's landing shoulder pad down, it's going to be very hard to hang on to the ball. So 3rd and 9 now at the 25-yard line. Big down here for SAGU. This would be a very long field goal. The wind is at their back. But, again, at some point in this game, you got to get something else besides field goals.
3rd and 9 incoming. Here's Green. Let's go across the middle, or to the outside, rather, off the hands of Paulo Didi. Would have been short of the first down marker anyway. That brings up 4th down, and the kicking unit, field goal unit, comes out here to attempt a longer field goal of about 42 yards here for Jonah Osborne.
Again, what wind there is at his back, so that should not be the issue. He definitely has the leg for 42. We've seen him hit from this range before. Going to be a matter of keeping it straight down Main Street.
Good snap, good hold. The kick is up, and it is good. SAGU goes up 6-0. Jonah Osborne doing all the scoring so far for either team. Haven't seen him a lot this season, Tim, but when we have, he's been pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, SAGU always has good kickers. It's always a staple of the program. So a nice 42-yard kick. You definitely wanted more, but at least you're able to wrench something out of it. Really your first and only solid offensive play of the day goes for long enough that you're able to get on the board on your own. Up 6-0 now, just shy of midway through the second quarter. And you just hope that may open things up a little bit, because you saw North American playing very tight, and that's what allowed that play to work. That's what allowed Jamal Long to get to that second level. Once you get any success, it forces them to spread back out a little bit, drop a guy a little bit deeper. That gives you some soft spots to work with over the middle. So just one big play like that can really adjust the rest of the way the rest of the game goes. Obviously, they were unable to pick up anything else after that play, but you hope that you can game plan now, try to find some soft spots in this defense, and keep some more points going on the board.
Ryan Lewis boots it through the end zone for a touchback. So NAU will take over at the 25-yard line.
It'll be 1st and 10 Stallions.
Now for the Stallions, when you look at them in this game, their very first drive, I think just their second play of the game, they broke that very nice run from Derodrick Hadnot. And since then, it has been absolutely nothing. They have not picked up a first down since. They've had a fumble deep in SAGU territory. They had the botched punt. They're on their 4th straight 3-and-out right now, so they have not had any success since that I think the second play of the game.
That should be a false start. I don't think there's a tie on this one, Ted.
False start.
False start.
On the offense, number 74. It's a 5-yard penalty. Remains 1st down.
Jesper Korkalainen is back in the game now at quarterback. And for the second straight drive, as I mentioned on the last drive, it was the miscommunication on the snap that made them lose 4 or 5 yards on first down. Now they lose an immediate 5 on the false start. And when you're struggling like this, you simply can't afford those little mental errors that add anything extra to your responsibilities.
1st and 15 to go with a run up the middle, nothing doing. In fact, lose 1. SAGU's done a really good job bottling up that run, that rushing offense of the Stallions. Make it 2nd and 16.
He loses 6 yards to the 19-yard line.
Yeah, and he said it was Hadnot who had the one big run, and when he made that quick little move outside, you thought, oh, wow, this could be a thing that goes on a lot today, but SAGU's defense has not allowed him a single inch. I don't believe he's gained a yard since then. I think every single run has gone for a loss since that initial big run from him to start the game off.
2nd and 16, back to pass, steps up, brought down as he tried to maneuver the pocket. Alex Morse brings him down for a loss. Make it 3rd and a mile.
The redshirt freshman is going up against an offensive lineman that almost looks twice his size, uses his hands to bounce off, gets to the outside, does not let Corker-Line get to that second level, potentially set his feet and throw or scramble. And 3rd and a mile coming up for the Stallions as this SAGU's defense is clicking on every single level at the moment.
3rd and 20. Corker-Line back to pass. Looking deep down the sideline. Turn around and find it, and it's picked off at the 35. Brought down. Turnover. Interception for SAGU. Flag comes out. That's after the play. This might be going against SAGU as Lontarius McLean did a little bit of jawing after that interception.
Yeah, the senior decided to have his moment a little too long. Does a great job of running underneath a rainbow duck of a pass. Makes the pick. But that is going to clearly be unsportsmanlike conduct after the play.
Interception. Unsportsmanlike conduct on defense, number 5. The 15-yard penalty from the first down. That's number 5's first unsportsmanlike of the game.
And you love the pick, but I hate to say it, your offense doesn't need 15 extra yards to work with right now. That's when you need to head straight to the sideline. Don't worry about the John. It's still only 6-0. So not the mental fortitude you'd want in that moment. So another great job by the defense. But SAGU's offense is going to start at midfield instead of at the 35-yard line.
4 wide here for Briley Green. Green back to pass. Steps up, facing pressure. He's going to keep it himself. He's got some green in front of him, and he ducks out of bounds. Needed 10, picked up 12. Briley Green doing it on his own with his feet. Moves the chains. Picks up almost all of that unsportsmanlike conduct penalty right back.
Does a good job of identifying as the pocket collapses to his side and behind him that means there has to be a lane in front. Takes off running, gain of 12. The longest rushing play of the day for the Lions. Yeah, and immediately get back down there where you should have been to start this drive. Good first play.
1st and 10 here for SAGU. Back to pass. Green, quick hitter, finds Odidi. Odidi spins off one tackle. Tries to get up across another man, and he falls forward for the first down. Needed 10, picked up 11. Back-to-back first down plays here for SAGU, and now the offense is starting to get a little bit of momentum.
And that's what we're talking about. You immediately see some of that softness in the defense. Odidi has room to work and run a quick hitch. They're playing a little bit off of him now. That's what any sort of success can breed. As soon as you get anything going on offense, you can just start stacking on top of that. Green sees the play develop quickly, gets it out there, first down inside the 30.
Green, back to pass. Quick hitter again to Odidi. Odidi has to go down to the ground to bring that one in. Pick up a 4 on first down, make it 2nd and 6.
There's the old phrase, take what the defense will give you. Well, when you're not giving them any reason to give you a thing, they can stay right up on the ball. That time you see Keyshawn Langham playing a little bit off because they've seen them get beat deep, and now they're having to consider that. And, you know, it's only 3 yards, but at this point, just pick up those little things, keep the ball moving forward.
They do call it a gain of 3, make it 2nd and 7. It's a short 7. Takes a snap, he's back to pass. He's going to let it go, looking for the end zone for Odidi. Over his head, out of bounds. Makes it 3rd and 7 incoming here for SAGU.
And that's a well that you need to find a way to get away from. We've seen a lot of these fade routes, a lot of these sideline patterns, especially as you're starting to get a little bit of success in the curl routes and the hitches, target some crossing patterns. Those are obviously safe routes. They're almost never going to get picked, but you got to find a way to make something else work besides that.
3rd and 7 incoming here, SAGU. Briley Green back to pass. Looking across the middle of the field, almost intercepted off the hands of Kyrese Massey. And he's lucky. Briley Green is lucky that wasn't picked off. There's a lot of heat on that one, maybe just too much for Massey.
And it looks like Colby Tanner held up a little bit shy of where he should have been going to. Put the brakes on a little bit too soon. Green Thigh's going a little bit further down the field. And a bullet dodged by the Lions as that could have easily been intercepted, and there would have been room to return.
41-yard field goal incoming here for Jonah Osborne. Bad snap. They get the hold down, and it does get there. The hold made things look a little funky, but Jonah Osborne doing it all himself today. 9-0 off the 41-yard field goal.
I think there may be some players in the field who could have sprinted to the end zone faster than that ball got to the end zone. We got some score updates for you now. Look out. The Rams are trailing Wayland Baptist 13-10 late in the first half.
That would be a massive upset.
Still a whole second half to go, but at the moment.
A lot of game left to play, but wow, that is surprising. We didn't make picks this week,
We
Tim.
did not. We had an abbreviated pregame show with Senior Day.
But I can tell you with confidence, I would have picked Wayland.
Absolutely, yeah. Oh, absolutely. Pioneers all the way. We called it. Meanwhile, OPSU up by 5 in Texas College, and Langston rolling it at home against Arkansas Baptist. As we do see.
It's 7 o'clock yet. I'm ready for that.
I know.
Louisiana Christian Ottawa game. Almost there.
Be checking in on that one this evening. Well, SAGU again pieces together a couple of good plays on offense. Has to settle for a field goal, but at least now it's taken the entire first half and some big breaks, but they have grinded out a 2-score lead, up 9-0. And they have gotten the last 2 on offense. They have found some room to work. That one was just a 50-yard drive. Started 50 after the interception, obviously, but they had a couple of good first downs to get in field goal range. And again, being up 9-0, because it always feels like, even in a game where your defense is pitching a shutout, there's always that chance that you're just kind of a busted play. It comes out of nowhere. Yep. You over-pursue, the ball gets tipped, guy takes it 75 yards for a touchdown. When you can build in that little bit of a buffer to where even if you have that, defense is like, okay, well, let's just not do that again. Because as we mentioned, outside of that very first drive of the game, second play of the game, this defense has been pure nails out here, not allowing the Stallions an inch to work with.
Timeout here for NAU.
Timeout. NAU. Their first charge timeout of the half.
Looked like they had 10 men on the field, I believe.
They had 10 men on the field. They had plenty of time on the play clock, but looking at the numbers, 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah, they had 10 guys on the field. So definitely.
They may have had 9 then, because there was a guy who came on the field right after the timeout. So they may have been actually sitting at 9. Looking at our stats for the game, and obviously not a whole lot to write home about for either team, but SAGU has pushed to 96 total yards, just 3 for the Stallions. And again, that was after a big run on first down.
They almost had, I would venture to say it was probably a 20-yard run.
Yeah, so since then, they have lost somewhere in the neighborhood of 17 yards for the rest of the first half. Meanwhile, both teams have had a little bit of problem with penalties. SAGU 18% on third downs, and that is not what you're looking for, but when the other team's at 0, it'll do for the moment.
Jesper Korkalainen in at quarterback. Still here for the Stallions. 3 wide, 2 to the right, 1 to the left, sends a man in motion. Korkalainen back to pass. Lets it go to the flat, has his man. And he picks up 8 there on first down, make it 2nd and 2. He finds his man, Jalen Williams, the tight end, out in the flat.
That's a big tight end. Hard to bring down. Feels more like a converted fullback. But a little bit of room now for the Stallions to work with. As we mentioned, even gaining anything had felt very difficult. An 8-yard gain on first down opens the playbook up now.
They will hand it off here on 2nd and 2, and they will pick up about a yard. I think he's lucky to get that. Brings up 3rd and 1.
Gibson was in the backfield initially, then it's a whole host of Lions, really kind of led by Landon Carson, who bring him down. And we do have an injured Stallion after the play.
Can't quite see who that might be.
Got a shot out there for number 13. I believe that's Jaheim Evans. We see another.
We know Jaheim Evans.
Shout out for Jaheim Evans in the comments.
He is physical and a mouthpiece for this defense. Has been hyped up all game long, and for good reason. He is he's been flying all over the place as number 13.
Check back in on the standings. I mentioned this game will not go into the books as a conference game for the Lions, but it could get them back to 3-4 overall, as they're really, still have that shot at a winning season. They'd have to win out. Some tough games ahead. still with Louisiana Christian still on the docket, and as they are sitting there at the top of the conference at the moment, but they still have their 2 toughest games of the year. They've beaten everybody they need to beat, but they are playing Ottawa, Arizona tonight, and then we'll follow up later this year with Texas Wesleyan.
Would you rather play those teams early, or would you rather play them late when you've gotten your identity, you've gotten a little bit of momentum?
I mean, I'd rather play them late for my identity, but you can just never be sure with the other team. Like, are they also rolling by the end of the season? Did you catch them early, when a guy wasn't quite ready to go? Or do you catch them late when maybe a guy gets banged up late in the season, key player goes out?
Texas Wesleyan fighting against Wayland Baptist.
Yep.
It's a long season in the Sooner Athletic Conference, and it just seems like everybody beats everybody. And this year, of course, we know it's a 3-team race for that first spot in the conference standings. As it looks like up on his feet is Gabriel Turner. Hasn't started walking off quite yet, but it's good to see him up and moving. But no, it's a 3-team race right now in the Sooner. But like you said, these next couple weeks is going to be very, very interesting for Louisiana Christian, as they are in the driver's seat currently. Starts tonight at 7 o'clock in Surprise, Arizona. It's going to be one to watch.
So he will get off the field on his own power and bring up a big 3rd and 1 here for the Stallions. They have not picked up a first down since their first drive of the game. If they were to fail to pick this up, probably a little too soon in the game to think about going for it this deep in your own territory. They will get the ball first to start the second half, so they do have that to think about as well.
3rd and 1. The Stallions looking to avoid another 3-and-out. Korkalainen fakes a handoff, keeps it himself. He makes a man miss. He's got the open field and brought down, and that'll be a first down for NAU as they move the chains under 3.5 left to play here in the first half.
And Korkalainen does a good job of reading. Looks like he had a little bit of read option permission there. And Noah Gibson collides with, I believe it might have been Donovan Browder who he collided with there. Otherwise, they may have had him behind the line of scrimmage. Korkalainen does a good job of getting around there and does pick up the big 3rd down.
They will hand it off here on first down, pick up positive yardage. They pick up about 5 on first. Bryce Julian doing the running that time.
So they do have the opportunity, even after a half in which they've accomplished nothing. The double dip is sitting right there for it.
I knew you were going to say it. I knew you were going to say the double dip.
I mean, when you're down by 2 scores and you have a chance to attach 2 straight possessions, as we're down to 2.5 left in the first half, a chance to completely erase this SAGU lead before the offense even gets the ball back.
They hand it off on second down, now into the open field, has one man to beat, and he gets brought down at the 30-yard line. Bryce Julian rips off a huge run on second down. Pickup of 22.
Isaac Gaddy with a touchdown-saving tackle there. He was down to his knees, having to desperately try to throw him off. If he had not, that was going to be a touchdown. Regardless, the Stallions are clicking for the first time in this game down to the 30-yard line. Minute 50 to play in the half.
1st and 10, new set of downs. Korkalainen facing pressure. He gets brought down. Ball is loose. It's on the ground. Fighting for it. It looks like SAGU's got it. Do they have a turn of air? Moving the pile. SAGU football. And they take over at the 40-yard line after the big strip sack of Korkalainen. And SAGU gets off the field after giving up their longest drive of the afternoon.
And who else but Noah Gibson on senior day comes pretty much untouched. And while rolling him to the ground, pops the ball loose, recovered by the Lions, returned a little ways to the 40, and just as the Stallions seemed primed to get back into this one, at least get it back to a single possession game before the half, SAGU's defense comes up big with their 3rd turnover of the first half.
1st and 10, Green, 2 to the right, 1 to the left, sends a man in motion. Takes a snap, and it'll be an end around. A flag comes out, and it's going to go down as a loss of about 4. That play looked busted from the very beginning. We'll see what this flag is.
Going to be a hold on the Lions right up the middle there. And it's never great when there's only one Stallion not in the picture and he's the one getting held. I imagine North American will probably decline this penalty since it was a loss of 4 anyways. I'd take 2nd and 14 over 1st and 20 any day.
They have not come to a decision yet.
Holding on the offense, number 72. That penalty's declined. 2nd down.
They will indeed decline the penalty. Brett Johns, the one on the hold. 2nd and 14 now for SAGU with about 90 seconds left to play in the first half.
And honestly, at this point, I'm in no mistakes territory. I'm okay with some safe football right here.
Back to pass. Green, he steps up, stays behind the line to gain, or line of scrimmage, and finds his man, and it is brought in. That was a high ball, but Tyson Nanette goes up and brings it in.
With the reception.
Not something we've seen this Lions succeed on much this season when Green is forced out of the pocket rolling, but they're finally able to make it connect. Just a gain of 5, so we'll bring up 3rd and 9. The clock will stop with him going out of bounds. So there will still be, if they are able to convert here, there will still be time for the Stallions to get the ball back before the half.
1:25 left to play. 3rd and 9 incoming here for SAGU. Green gets a snap. He's back to pass. He steps up, facing pressure, and down goes Green. The Stallions get a stop on 3rd down, and they will call a timeout with 1:17 left to play. They want the opportunity to put some points up on the board themselves before the half.
Timeout. NAU. Their second charge timeout of the half.
So they'll have a single timeout left. Barring any mistakes on the punt, they'll probably have around 1:05 to work. They finally had a little momentum going last time, so they'll have a shot here. As I said, to try to get this back. If you hadn't fumbled it away there, they were at least going to get a chance at a field goal to get it back to a single possession game. So we have seen some wonky stuff on punts today. Some near misses on bouncing off of ankles. We had a botched punt obviously on NAU, and of course last week SAGU had the blocked punt recovered for a touchdown. So definitely keep your eyes on that. So before you just count your chickens and say it's punt time, weird stuff happens on punts around here.
1:17, like you said, they'll probably take over with 1:05, depending on the hang time of this punt from Ryan Lewis. From the 37-yard line, here is Lewis. Good snap, gets the punt away. It is a nice spiral. It's brought in about the 22, trying to get to the edge. Throws a stiff arm and ducks out of bounds. After a nice return, Elian Hogan gives the Stallions some good field position, and you were pretty close. 1:07 left to go here in the first half.
And I'll tell you, SAGU should be lucky they didn't make this tackle right here, because that is about to be a horse collar. If he does not shed that tackle, instead he only picks up an extra 2 yards. If he actually gets pulled down there, that's going to be a 15-yard horse collar tackle. As it is, they will have the ball at the 37-yard line, so they will have decent enough field position to have a shot at it here. Still a timeout. Of course, clocks still stop on first downs inside of 2 minutes. So they do have time to work with, just a matter of whether they can actually get it going like they had on the last drive.
1st and 10 for Corkalainen. He's back to pass. That looked like no one moved when the ball was snapped, and that is about as easy of a sack as you're going to have for Noah Gibson. I'm not sure what happened there. It looked like he was just untouched.
Yeah.
It was it looked like they might have been setting up a screen.
He had moved the man in motion, and they were trying to communicate across the line. So SAGU will call a timeout themselves, trying to get the ball back. Chance to maybe, get another shot here with, wind a little bit in their face, possibly get some field position. Honestly, at this point, the way your defense has been, you're just making them run more plays. You've had 3 turnovers. You've had sacks. It almost feels riskier for them to run offensive plays than it does to just, run offense on your own end. But yeah, something went wrong there up front, because nobody should ever come that untouched directly off the line. If a linebacker gets unidentified and shoots the A-gap, that's one thing. Defensive linemen really shouldn't go untouched straight off the snap.
They will be facing a 2nd and 19 here with about 56 seconds left. SAGU's got 2 more timeouts. So if they can stop the clock here, get quick stop it, they have a shot, like you said. Maybe put up some more points. Jonah Osborne's been very good today. Getting field goal range quickly, see what you can do. 2nd and 19, 4 wide here for the Stallions. They do set up a screen, and that is broken up, falls incomplete. So SAGU doesn't have to take a timeout here, and they might have one to pocket. Potentially get the ball back.
Xavier Garcia reading that one like a book. 4 lines, and again, it's one of those times when everybody comes like that, if that ball is able to get picked up by the running back, there's room to run. The blockers are ahead of him, but Garcia immediately disrupts it and turns into what was almost a dangerous play. If he'd have got there a split second earlier even, he had a chance to pick it. Instead, it'll be 3rd and very long, 53 seconds left in the half.
And they will hand it off here on 3rd down, and that goes nowhere. No gain, maybe even a loss of 1, and SAGU will take that 2nd timeout as they look to get the ball back with 48 seconds left.
Your second charge timeout of the half.
So now it really comes down to Anthony Shimbri again. The wind has pretty much entirely died down, so if he can get off a good punt, North American will probably be able to get out of this half with no further damage done. But as we've said, there's been some weirdness on special teams today. SAGU has been, the Stallions run this very spread look out here on the punt. And so SAGU has been trying to attack that by stacking right over the middle like they would traditionally. They've gotten close on the last 2 punts, honestly, getting in his face. SAGU will have 2 men back to return.
Looking for a good snap here. It's a slow snap. He gets it away. And it's a good punt down to the 40. And it will settle at the 39-yard line. SAGU brought pressure, almost got there. But with 38 seconds left and 1 timeout, we'll see what SAGU decides to do here right before the half.
Realistic line to gain. You probably still need to get down to at least the 30-yard line. He's been good today from 42. That one probably would have been good from 45, 46 from Jonah Osborne. The second one on the bad snap, it was 41, and it was good from 41. That was about it. Got everything it needed to get across. So looking to get to at least the 30-yard line here, so you need 30 yards in the next 38 seconds.
Back to pass. Green looking for the sideline through the hands of his intended receiver, Tyson. Oh, correction, actually, that is number 11, Zach Fuller on the outside.
Quick hitter to the sideline, what you're looking for in that situation, and Stallions playing it very tight, knowing that that is where the Lions need to go. You do still have the timeout, so if they start playing a little bit too tight on the corners, I still would look over the middle, see if you can get Jamal Long on a crossing pattern and get some room to work.
Back to pass, he steps up, looking at the sideline again. That one over the head of everybody, goes out of bounds. And just like that, over the course of 2 plays, only 8 seconds off the clock. Now 3rd and 10. And NAU has a timeout left that they can use. See what happens here on 3rd down.
That felt almost like a throwaway. The coverage was there. Jamal Long was the slot guy, but he wasn't running to the middle of the field. There was a linebacker covering in that mid-distance area where you'd like to attack if you could on a pass over the middle. Regardless, right back at 3rd down for the SAGU offense.
3rd and 10 incoming. Here's Green. He will just hand it off and nothing doing there. Actually, Rose keeps his feet. Now looking at a little exciting here. He gets past the original line to gain, and that is an incredible run to get 2 yards out of what looked like it might have been a loss of 5. That is amazing from DeKevion Rose.
Yeah. Wish it could have come in a circumstance that the yardage mattered more, but what it will do is prevent any chance of North American using their last time out to force a punt. That will be the end of the half on that 2-yard run, a defensively dominated half. SAGU has 3 field goals. North American has 3 turnovers. And that about sums it up for the action that you saw here.
We will see what adjustments both of these teams make. Don't go anywhere. Stallions, Lions, half number 2 of action coming your way right here on the SAGU Sports Network.
Of the Lions Athletic Complex, and looking for friends who will partner with us by.
When you trust someone with your money, you're part of something greater than yourself. You're investing in a principle that it takes individuals to create a community, that we are stronger when we support each other, that at some point, everyone will need a helping hand, that a meaningful purpose can be found in a calling. At AGCU, we're banking with a purpose, so you can live for yours.
When I was looking for a college to attend, I didn't just want an education, I wanted an experience. When I found SAGU, I knew I'd found a university that thrives on strong faith and solid friendships. I feel at home in my classes. I can interact with my professors and classmates because instruction is personalized. With a diverse student body, I have plenty of chances to be myself while growing with amazing people at the same time. If you're looking for much more than a college education, SAGU is for you.
Your power is unstoppable. And with us cheering you on, there's no limit to where it can take you. Baylor Scott and White Health, the power to live better.
At Raising Cane's, we're huge football fans, but we're also fans of your local fundraisers and fun runs, small victories and big ideas. And yes, even the neighborhood animal shelter. I was getting to that. Plus over 30,000 other partners in the communities we serve. When you order our hand-battered chicken fingers, craveable cane sauce, and jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade to cheer on your home team, you're also supporting your hometown. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, one love.
When you trust someone with your money, you're part of something greater than yourself. You're investing in a principle that it takes individuals to create a community, that we are stronger when we support each other, that at some point, everyone will need a helping hand, that a meaningful purpose can be found in a calling. At AGCU, we're banking with a purpose, so you can live for yours.
Your power is unstoppable. And with us cheering you on, there's no limit to where it can take you. Your power is unstoppable. And with us cheering you on, there's no limit to where it can take you. Baylor Scott and White Health, the power to live better.
Honey, have you applied to that school yet?
Not really into purple.
SAGU. Never say no to a lion.
When you trust someone with your money, you're part of something greater than yourself. You're investing in a principle that it takes individuals to create a community, that we are stronger when we support each other, that at some point, everyone will need a helping hand, that a meaningful purpose can be found in a calling. At AGCU, we're banking with a purpose, so you can live for yours.
I wanted to finish my degree, but I didn't know where to start. My faith and family are my priorities, and I didn't see a way I could go back to school. I barely have time for myself. How would I have time to go to class? I had all but given up until a friend told me about SAGU Online. They told me I could get credit for my life experience, save thousands of dollars, and graduate early. I took a leap of faith, and now I am set to finish my degree faster than I could have imagined. I take classes that fit my schedule, and I get to learn from amazing professors who have become my friends. The Bible-based teaching has helped me grow in my faith and advance in my career. The best part is, I'm saving money and I still have time for my family. I can't wait to see what happens next. Apply now to SAGU Online and see where a degree can take you.
Your power is unstoppable. And with us cheering you on, there's no limit to where it can take you.
When you trust someone with your money, you're part of something greater than yourself. You're investing in a principle that it takes individuals to create a community, that we are stronger when we support each other, that at some point, everyone will need a helping hand, that a meaningful purpose can be found in a calling. At AGCU, we're banking with a purpose, so you can live for yours.
At Raising Cane's, we're huge football fans, but we're also fans of your local fundraisers and fun runs, small victories and big ideas. And yes, even the neighborhood animal shelter. I was getting to that. Plus over 30,000 other partners in the communities we serve. When you order our hand-battered chicken fingers, craveable cane sauce, and jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade to cheer on your home team, you're also supporting your hometown. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love.
You see injustice everywhere. You feel compelled to help others, to make a difference. But how? The answer is simple. By being exactly who you are. Now it is time to be equipped. Invoke change. Restore hope, peace, justice, and kindness. Turn your passion into compassion.
Your power is unstoppable. And with us cheering you on, there's no limit to where it can take you. Baylor Scott and White Health, the power to live better.
When you trust someone with your money, you're part of something greater than yourself. You're investing in a principle that it takes individuals to create a community, that we are stronger when we support each other, that at some point, everyone will need a helping hand, that a meaningful purpose can be found in a calling. At AGCU, we're banking with a purpose, so you can live for yours.
All right, here we go. It starts here. 8-10. Take 1.
Good. How are you?
Good.
Coach, do you want to start with you? Okay.
Why do you think student-athletes come to SAGU?
Yeah, I'm in to showcase your talents in your sport, but I think SAGU uniquely gives you a family atmosphere, it gives you a community, it gives you a chance to grow your whole self, to your spiritual growth especially, so who you are as a man or who you are as a person. And I think that we offer a little bit deeper understanding of yourself whenever you leave, and I think that whenever they leave here, they really feel a part of something bigger than themselves.
Okay, so Dad, what have you enjoyed most about being in SAGU's basketball program? It feels like a family, and I wouldn't want to be anywhere else just because like how fun it is, and it's just been a really great experience.
I've never been in a place that is just loved on each other as much as the people do here at SAGU, and I think our guys feel it. I know I feel it as a coach.
The people, not just in basketball, but outside of basketball, are like so selfless and actually genuinely care about you.
It starts here.
I would tell students to expect to make their lifelong friends. It's not hard to find your community because SAGU is home. You can find people that either have the same passion as you or it can be completely different, but at the same time, you're able to network, but they're also going to help you along the way too.
There's such a community there, and throughout my 3 years at SAGU, I've built so many connections, so many opportunities. And not only the students care about you, they pray for you, and they guide you to your God-given gift and your God-given talent.
Community starts here.
I wasn't sure about getting my master's degree online. I didn't know if I could juggle it with everything else I already had on my plate. Would I be able to find a local university that matched my values, offering the support and flexibility for my busy life? What about finances? I didn't think it was possible. Then I found SAGU. The flexibility in their programs, affordability, and biblical perspective helped me to see a way forward to fulfill my God-given calling. SAGU's support helped me create the balance I needed to succeed. Now I can pursue my degree and connect with a wide network of opportunities that will set me up for the future. Apply now and see what opportunities are waiting for you.
Tired of being passed over for that promotion? Well, did you know that getting your MBA can be a great way to supercharge your professional career? Those who graduate from a 2-year MBA program on average earn a starting salary of $90,000. Through SAGU's online MBA, you can earn your degree while still working at your job. And at half the cost of other 2-year MBAs, there's no need to worry about the price.
And you can now complete your MBA in 12, 18, or 24 months.
So what's holding you back? Apply today at sagu.edu.
To the SAGU Sports Network. Welcome back to the SAGU Sports Network. We are ready for half number 2 here between the Stallions and the Lions in a quiet first half, I think would be the best way to describe what we saw. 9-0 SAGU here as we get ready for half number 2.
You say quiet, I say defensive duel.
Defensive battle.
You know,
yeah, Tim, you know me. We've been doing this for a lot of years. I like points. I like quarterback play. I like scoring. I like offense.
We got the quad box here.
Oh, look at that.
On SAGU Sports Network Red Zone. Going quad box here with the Yotes taking on College of Idaho taking on Carroll up in Montana 35-21. Meanwhile, Texas Wesleyan still with a bit of a scare going on against the Pioneers of Wayland Baptist out in Fort Worth. They're up by 4 now, but that's hardly a given. And then Evangel, homecoming for our sister school, the Evangel Valor, up 3-0 on Friends. That is also a top 25 battle.
Is that just off-colored?
That is a gray field. They play on a gray field. Because, do not adjust your television screens. It's not the blue field of Boise State. It's gray.
I like that a lot.
It's a very different look. And it does immediately make you think that something is very wrong with whatever broadcast you are getting. But I do like the look. It makes the colors pop real nice as well.
I like that.
Dare I say it, is Evangel in throwback uniforms? That does not look like their standard uniform.
I couldn't tell
setup.
you.
Now, I'm not going to say I know Evangel history so well that I know what their throwbacks look like. But that looks a little throwback to me right there. That's not their current logo. Man, I love throwback night too. So gray fields, throwbacks, and the crowd going wild as they're up 3-0 there in Nixa, Missouri. Springfield is their home, but Nixa's where they play.
NAU and the Stallions will take over here to start half number 2. They deferred at the beginning of the game, finding themselves down 2 scores, 9-0, looking to try to get anything going here on offense that they can. And it starts with the kickoff.
And not second to last drive of the half was the first time we saw them move at all. They got down inside the 30. And it was completely disrupted by Noah Gibson. It's going to be a short kickoff.
Short kick, fielded at the 20 by the up man, trying his hardest to make someone miss, and he actually, pretty good return out of it, gets it up to the 30.
Recapping their drives in the first half. Again, they had a hot start to the game, got across midfield, were forced to punt, then took over deep in SAGU territory after SAGU was pinned deep and the punt fell short, but they fumbled on 3rd and 1. A center to quarterback exchange went south. Then a number of 3-and-outs, including a punt that went over their punter's head, led to the first points of the game. And to close the half out, they had a pick, a fumble deep in SAGU territory, and then a 3-and-out. So all of those mistakes have led to big things. Obviously, 2 fumbles in SAGU territory, and the pick and the botched punt led to SAGU field goals.
Jesper Korkalainen still in at quarterback for the Stallions, and will hand it off here on first down. Hadnot spins off a tackle, keeps his feet, and spins forward again and picks up 11 on 1st and 10.
Hadnot, with his first good run since his first run of the game, spinning off tacklers, picks up a first down. As you mentioned, first run of the game, he broke across midfield, and it looked like he was going to be a factor. That may be his first positive yardage gain since then. SAGU has completely bottled him up, but on the first play of the second half, he gets him out to the 41-yard line with a first down.
New set of downs here on first down. Sends a man in motion. Back to pass on first. Swings it out to the flat to Hadnot. Hadnot tries to cut back inside, but gets pushed out of bounds after a gain of about 3 on first. Make it 2nd and 7.
Good play design. Move everything to the right. Have the man go deep downfield. Just dropped off to Hadnot. Easy pickup of, call it 3.5 yards. Just shy of the 45-yard line now.
2nd and 7 incoming here for the Stallions offense. Jesper Korkalainen, no touchdowns and interception in the first half. Looks to try to have a clean slate here in half number 2. SAGU brings pressure, and he evades the pressure, goes forward and picks up about a yard. A busted play ends up in positive yardage there for the Stallions.
Yeah, hard to tell. They might have had the read option on there because he had to pull it out of Hadnot's hands and try to dive for anything he could. Does pick up a little over a yard, right at a yard to the 45-yard line, brings up 3rd down. They had only 1 3rd down conversion in the entire first half, and it was on that drive that looked to get things going but then fell apart on the fumble.
3rd and 6 incoming here for the Stallions. Back to pass. Faces pressure, rolls out to his left, across his body, finds his man and completes the pass short of the line to gain. It makes it 4th and 3. That's actually just an incredible job to get that pass away.
Yeah, he was getting hauled down, and the offense is not moving. Korkalainen goes over to the coach to get the play call. They've picked up enough that they are going to decide to stick with it. Down 9-0. Just shy of midfield. The line to gain is the SAGU 49. They have the ball at their own 48. Huge 4th down coming up here to start the second half off.
4th and 3, empty backfield here for Korkalainen. Brings the man in motion, tight set here.
Oh, and that's going to be a
start.
Worst thing you could have done. You're not even going to get the play off.
On the offense, number 74, 5-yard penalty, remains 4th down.
Justin Phillips is going to be the one to move, and didn't even have a guy tight on him. He does not need to be the guy getting a quick start out the blocks. Now, it's not going to change the math for North American, however. They are staying on the field. They are not letting that false start change. It obviously changes the play call as they're facing 4th and 8 now, but they keep the same look that they had on the
Tim,
previous
I think
play.
he's going to pooch kick it.
Oh, he is bringing him in tight.
Yep, and there it is, a quarterback punt. It's away, and it's a short one, and it's bobbled but brought in by Gowdy. Gowdy up the sideline, tiptoeing, and he steps out of bounds. He had a lot of room to work with, but he steps out of bounds right at midfield. That's where SAGU will take over.
And that's probably a tad bit too cute for me. Your punter has actually had a great game. You do have a chance to uncork this one, catch him deep. Now, maybe what you're hoping for is that SAGU's totally unprepared and it rolls or it bounces off a guy. But instead of having the opportunity, SAGU has the ball at the 50-yard line now. That's only a net gain of 5 yards. I'm a fan of either going for it or straight, just coming straight to there and punting that ball away. SAGU will start with good field position, see if they can capitalize on it.
Briley Green remains in at quarterback, fakes a handoff, back to pass. Looking for his man across the middle, incomplete, intended for Zach Fuller. The last couple of weeks, we've seen a quarterback split reps between the first and second half. We've seen Briley Green start the game and Jamonte Gordon-West close out the game. But this time, Briley Green, the offense put up 9 points, and it looks like Coach Ellis has been comfortable enough to let him out there for the second half.
Yeah, they had the 2 drives in the second quarter that were actually drives. Their first field goal came on a solitary yard gained after the botched punt by the Stallions. So they did have 2 drives where they moved the ball a little bit, and I think he's just going to ride with Briley from here on out, see if he can get some more momentum going in the second half.
Looking for his intended receiver that time, tightly covered, Justin Campbell. Really no room to work with. That brings up 3rd and long.
That quick cut in and immediately double covered. One of those, again, even if it's caught, your best case scenario is a gain of 3. The receivers have remained blanketed, and there has simply been no room to run. Longest run of the game was a scramble by Briley Green. And when you can't establish any sort of run, that gives those linebackers and DBs all the permission in the world to stay at home and disrupt the passing.
Green, deep drop, steps up. He's going to tuck it and run. He's around the edge, past the 40, or right at the 40, I should say.
Comes down to the placement.
It's going to be really close. He's got it right at the 40. They do signal first down. Briley Green gets it done on the ground. Really good run there, facing pressure and doing just enough to move the chains.
And knowing what you've got to do in those circumstances when there's nowhere to go with the ball, tuck it, get out there. Briley Green has the athleticism to pick up that yardage, and he got just enough. As you see, the nose of the football is touching the 40-yard line. So he got 10 yards on the dot for a big 3rd down conversion to keep this first drive going.
Back to pass. He's taking a deep shot to Odidi, hanging in the air. Odidi goes up and brings it in down inside the 15. Good pitch and catch from Briley Green to his big 6'5 receiver, Paul Odidi.
We saw that exact route get erased earlier in the game on a holding penalty. Works perfect that time. When you know Odidi's completely on an island, you can loft that ball up there. There's no time for the safety to crash in and make a pick when you're that far away from things. Great throw. And
it's intercepted after the big completion. Picked off down past the 30. Down and pushed out of bounds at the 30-yard line. Threw it right at the face of Trey Gabriel, playing underneath coverage, and he made Briley Green pay.
And that is the exact same route we saw unfold earlier in the game when I pointed it out. The ball was tipped then by Otto Bonner. Otto Bonner is still in the game plan there. He's a little bit further down the field, however. Gabriel picks it off. and takes points off the board for the Lions. So after the big third down conversion and the biggest play of the game on the deep bomb, a missed assign, just missing that the guys are underneath, and an easy pick.
It looked like he wanted to go to Odidi on his first read, and then last second decided to go underneath. And Tim, there's 3 guys there.
Yeah, I mean, just completely missed. And it wasn't like they were hiding. They weren't camouflaged. They were there. It felt like he made a quick decision. As soon as he realized his first read wasn't there, he didn't take time to analyze the second one, zipped it in there, and the first turnover of the game will give the Stallions new life, as they were in very much danger of even potentially going down 16. SAGU's offense was moving.
They pick up a good chunk of yardage there on first down. Picked up 6, make it 2nd and 4.
You simply keep asking your defense to go to work. You had your opportunity there to, don't want to say by any means put this game away, but put you in a very comfortable position. And instead, you're just one play away from this game being almost completely deadlocked yet again.
Sends a man in motion on 2nd and 4. Korkalainen back to pass. Heaves it out of bounds over the head of everybody. Facing immediate pressure almost by SAGU linebacker Xavier Garcia.
When the guys 6 yards out of bounds aren't even able to leap up and get a fingertip on it, that's how you know you've forced a very errant throw. We'll bring up 3rd and 4. We already saw the Stallions go for it. Well, they didn't actually. They were going to go for it at the 48. And
no, Tim, they were going to punt it either way.
You think they were going to punt it? Even
they lined up.
Oh,
they were going to punt it either way. They were. I mean,
even on the 4th and 3.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, you could tell the way that they brought the formation in tight. Quarterback was about 7 yards off the center as opposed to the normal 4. Yeah, it was going to be a punt either way. Back to pass. Korkalainen steps up, facing pressure. He's got some room to run, and he's got enough for the first down. That'll move the chains. Now the Stallions were dangerously close again to another 3 and out. Korkalainen has shown that he can get the job done with his feet.
Yeah, has a couple of scrambles now, and right there again, it all comes to how the no other way to put it. All comes to how the offensive line fails. If it fails in the middle, you're done for. If you're going to fail, at least fail by making them brick around the outside. That gives you that lane to run through. So if you're not going to win, at least lose right. And that's what these two offensive lines really have to operate under right now, is just allowing any time for their quarterback, anybody on their team to make a play. No one is going to stand up strong and hold people in place today.
They bring in a new quarterback this time. Again, that is the defensive back, Jesus Beltran, who we actually saw return the kickoff to start the second half. The up man this time tucks it, keeps it himself, and no gain, brings up 2nd and 10. And I can't tell if he has remained in the game. He is still in the game. Jesus Beltran. They like to run a little Wildcat-esque option. Our offense with him is not technically Wildcat, but I don't know if I don't know his ability to throw the ball as a defensive back / backup quarterback, but we'll see here for Beltran. 4 wide, 1 man in the backfield. He takes it, keeps it himself, looking for anything to work, and SAGU's not having any of it. Bottled up quickly, brought down for the sack, and that'll make it 3rd and about 15.
That's a read option, and there simply was no option. Had he handed it off, Jaden Holcomb was waiting on the right side of the line, would have stoned that for a loss of 2. Instead has to hold on to it and has to lose even more. Loss of 4 brings up 3rd and long.
Keith Hargraves in on the stop.
So back into the game now, I believe, will come. Actually, I can't tell. Is that?
That's Korkalainen.
Yeah, Korkalainen is back in the game now in shotgun with 3rd and 15 on the board.
SAGU looks to bring pressure. They bring 4, facing immediate pressure, almost intercepted by Garcia. Just a little bit behind. That would have been a tough catch either way, but falls harmlessly to the turf, and that'll bring up 4th down and 15, and out comes the punting unit here for NAU.
So after the big pick, Stallions get a first down, get up to the 49-yard line, about to cross midfield, but then curiously opt to go with that Wildcat package. Did not work for them earlier in the game, and it falls apart here right after they get a little bit of momentum on offense. Really can't get out of their own way at this point. They'll be forced to punt it away as we're right at the midway point here in the 3rd quarter. Be their 2nd punt of the quarter.
And he gets it away, end-over-end punt. It's a good one. Fielded at about the 13. Trying to make a man move. He does. Gets it to the outside. Look out. Here is Tyson Nanette down past the 30 is where he will go out of bounds at the 31-yard line. An exciting punt return of about 25 or about 15 yards.
Yeah, does a great job of getting out of this danger zone, kind of running the wrong direction back to the 11-yard line. Plants his foot and gets to the outside. So, yeah, considering the fact that he had drifted back to the 11, that is a 20-yard punt return up to the 31-yard line. A little bit more room for the offense to breathe as they were moving the ball on the last drive, but their first turnover of the game took what was almost certain to be some points off the board. You really could have trusted Jonah Osborne at that point. Obviously, you were looking for your first touchdown of the game.
1st and 10, back to pass. He gets it out. Colby Tanner met immediately. No gain on the play, maybe a half a yard. Nothing doing there for Colby Tanner on the outside.
The bubble screen is not going to work when there's 3 guys stacked over there and you only have a single wide receiver blocking. We've seen SAGU run the bunch formation a few times this year, but typically the receiving core they have right now is not the type of guys you're looking for to make key blocks. They've got to get downfield.
2nd and 9, back to pass. He swings it through the hands of his intended receiver. It was Zach Fuller. Brings up 3rd and 9. It was there for a short yardage gain. Just through the hands.
A little bit of too much mustard on that one. And the problem with that route right there is you have Fuller and you have Colby Tanner, and they're both standing around 2 yards from each other. That is allowing the defense to play easy. Even if it had been caught, there's no separation. You're not forcing anybody to make a play on any different spot. You essentially have 4 different guys who can all stay home because you're right in the same spot. You got to start spreading these routes out.
Back to pass. Off the chest of Jamal Long. Timing route just didn't get his head around. I don't know if he got a hand on it.
I think Otto Bonner actually may be the one to get around. And actually, I think Otto Bonner got his hand on it. He was a little bit late in turning around, but even so, if Bonner doesn't put his hand on that, I do think Long's going to have a chance to haul that in. It would have been a quick grab, but he would have been able to haul it in and get a first down. So an excellent play by Bonner. And right back onto the field comes the punting unit.
3 and out here for SAGU's offense. Ryan Lewis on the punt. And he gets it away, a high end-over-end punt. And it takes a Stallions bounce. And it'll settle at the 44-yard line. So a shorter punt that time, just took a bad bounce.
Yeah, that's typically where he wants to put it. You know, dropping it out of the sky like the dart that he usually drops it. If he can get it to roll there, he's going to have plenty of space, probably get down inside the 30. But it sticks going the wrong direction, pops back out to the 44, and the Stallions will have solid field position to start this drive. They've moved the ball a little bit at the start of both of these drives in this half, but they've both been derailed right at midfield.
1st and 10 here for the Stallions. Looking to get into SAGU territory here. From the 44-yard line, Korkalainen low snap, picks it up off the ground, facing pressure, down goes Korkalainen. Dropped for the sack. And it looks like Jaden Holcomb, big number 33, in on the stop. A huge loss of 8.
Does an excellent job of immediately turning back in his man, not allowing him to really get a play on him. He's also kind of held occupied by a second guy there on the left end. At that point, he has a free shot at the quarterback. Another sack from this SAGU defense. They have been relentless today in getting after the quarterback.
2nd and 18 incoming here for the Stallions. Korkalainen will hand it off. Immediate pressure, nothing doing. They're going to give him forward progress, but it's going to result in a loss of about 3. That brings up 3rd and very long, 3rd about 21.
Noah Gibson and Quavion Mitchell, and there's not a running back in the land that's going to break a tackle out of that. So 3rd and 20 plus after 2 relentless defensive plays. They are consistently getting back there and disrupting the Stallions just can't get their plays to develop quick enough to avoid the pressure from this defensive line and the blitzing linebackers.
Korkalainen on 3rd and long. Swings it out to the flat, has his man, and he's bottled up for a loss of 1. So major negative yardage there on that drive for the Stallions as the punting unit trots out after a 3-and-out for NAU.
You know, interceptions are nice, fumbles are great, but 3 consecutive plays where the opposing team loses yards is about the biggest flex a defense can do.
It doesn't happen all that often.
No, I mean, where literally they move backwards on every single play. Sack, run for a loss, and then you completely pursue a pass and throw him for a 1-yard loss as well.
Yep.
That it's not quite as, game-breaking as a blocked
punt. A blocked punt. A live ball picked up. It's going to be SAGU ball.
Now,
so
there is a flag at the bottom of your screen here, and I'm wondering if somebody came across the line early. We'll wait on the call.
This is a huge call
now,
from the official.
Everybody's leaving the field like they didn't.
Illegal formation.
Wow.
Number 18. That penalty's declined. First down line.
So 2 miscommunications. And I don't know if you can call that a miscommunication as much as you call it the SAGU punt and block unit just getting after it. But that is 2 positive plays for SAGU on punts so far today.
And technically they recover it, so it will be that old turnover and downs on a blocked punt. And yeah, we've been seeing them bring that pressure, and something went wrong on the defense package back there. The ball was snapped, forced the punter to move a bit to his left. That probably threw everything off just a little bit. That was cleanly blocked. SAGU's offense, the second time setting up inside the red zone.
Green drops back the pass and keeps it himself, ends up getting nothing on 1st and 10 from the 15. So SAGU inside the red zone here now. It's only their second drive inside the red zone so far today, the first resulting in a field goal from Jonah Osborne. We'll see what holds in store here for SAGU's offense. You'd love to walk away with 7 here, but we'll see.
Well, they would have actually been inside the red zone 2 drives ago. On the one, they ran 1 play.
Oh, you're right. It's the interception.
So they've now run 5 red zone plays, have gained 1 yard and thrown a pick. So it has not been a friendly territory. Although you can't say much of the field has been friendly territory for the offense.
Back to pass, facing pressure. Green gets brought down from behind. Now down at the 19. We'll make it 3rd and 14 now.
Coming on that second wave, number 50, Trey Gabriel.
He had the interception.
Yep, he had the pick earlier to throw points away, and now has perhaps sunk any shot at a touchdown and moved this back to a more difficult field goal try after the initial pressure completely threw the SAGU Lions offensive line off. He comes and finishes the job with the sack.
Green back to pass, steps up, rips it to the end zone for Odidi. Odidi up and gets it, climbs the ladder, and a flag comes in for the celebration. But Paul Odidi, Green puts it on a rope. Odidi, 6'5", goes up, brings it in, 2 feet down, touchdown Lions.
It's about what they have right now. It's about the only well they can go to. Allow your giant receiver to go and get the ball. Briley Green throws it where he knows only Odidi can get it. Now we're having some discussion here from the refs. There was the flag thrown. We assumed it was for the celebration.
It came out well after
the play was over. Obviously, the Stallions were begging for a pass interference. I didn't see any separation that would have been caused by an offensive pass interference.
The touchdown is good. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct on the offense, number 5.
So now they'll ask whether they want to put it on the extra point or the kickoff. As the Stallions are
begging
still
for
begging for the offensive pass interference. On the replay we saw, I did not see much of a sign of it. The guys are definitely locked up.
That penalty will be assessed on the kickoff.
What you're looking for there is the extension, and he never extended. He just brings his arms. He brings his arms back in fact, to separate out and go up.
Interesting formation here on the point after attempt, and it looks like they will go in motion to a traditional PAT here for Jonah Osborne. try to make it 16-0, and it goes over the head of the snapper. It's a live ball. Lewis just falls on top of it,
on that.
and it makes it a 15-0 ball game after the failed PAT.
Risky play there because that was a live ball and could get taken back for 2, but SAGU's offense, and just when it seemed that the wheels had completely come off again, you get the block punt, nothing on first down, take the sack on second down, and there's about one play in the arsenal right now.
Yeah.
Honestly, if I'm the defense, I don't know why you're not doubling Odidi at this point. He is the one guy you can go to in the back corner of the end zone right there. Just trust Bradley Green to throw a pass up where he can go get it. Breaks a very long touchdownless run there for the SAGU offense. Again, it's only going to come on a 15-yard drive, but they will take it any way they can. So they will be kicking off from their own 20 now, though. Checking back in on some of these scores. They are knotted up. Montana Tech versus Rocky Mountain.
Oh, Texas Wesleyan out to an 11-point lead.
Yeah, they have finally broken free a little bit. It finally has that separation they're looking for. Meanwhile, the Bethel, Kansas up by 7 on the Mound Builders, whereas else in the conference, Langston up by 31, and OPSU leading Texas College by 25.
Texas College, who we will see here in just a couple of weeks for our homecoming game, November 11th, 11-11. Homecoming game, Texas College, the Steers come on the road to Waxahachie as we are set to kick off from the 20-yard line. You don't see this all too often. We'll see how far Lewis can get it. He is just going to put a short kick up here, and it's brought in past the 30. He hits the edge. He's got some room to run, and the Stallions will take over with very good field position here, out of bounds at the 39-yard line.
That's kind of the dream as a kick returner, to catch the ball in stride. You don't get much opportunity of that. Full head of steam. Elion Hogan goes across midfield, goes inside the 40. So the unsportsmanlike penalty after the touchdown already paying big dividends for the Stallions. They obviously, if they want to get back in this game, need some points on this drive. They are still scoreless. They went 3 and out in the last drive and had their second big punting miscue. It's now led to 9 SAGU points directly off of punting miscues.
Korkalainen fakes a handoff. A flag comes in and looks to be another pre-snap penalty here against the Stallions.
False start on the offense, number 18. It's a 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
Kaquan Palm, the wide receiver. And I think it's less of a false start and more of not being set. So he's kind of still shifting towards the line. But another situation where before they even get a snap off, they've had a lot of these little ticky-tack false start calls that have usually come on first down and turned, what's already been a very tough assignment, trying to pick up yardage against this stout SAGU defense, even tougher. Every yard feels that much more difficult to gain.
They will throw it on first down, and I'm not sure who that was going to. They're lucky it wasn't a pick six going the other way. Keith Hargraves had a read on it, and Tim, I don't know who that pass was actually intended for.
I think the intended receiver had to be Colby Clark there, but it sort of fell in between him and Kequan Palmer, and yeah, Hargreaves had the bead on it, and you almost wonder if he didn't just see his touchdown celebration too a half second too early.
We're used to seeing Hargraves rush the passer. Maybe that's why we're used to seeing him rush the passer. He broke on that and would have been gone by a mile, but as it stands, brings up 2nd and 15. SAGU brings pressure. They hand it to the outside. Nothing doing there for the Stallions. Gets brought down for a loss of 3. That makes it 3rd and 18, and they have just been 3rd and long every drive here this second half.
And if you're keeping track now, that is, I believe, 6 consecutive plays they have run that has netted 0 to negative yardage. SAGU's defense has been simply that dominant when you can have any sort of string of plays like that. And I'm not talking 6 incomplete passes. I think there's just 1 incomplete pass in there where every play is going for negative yardage. an aggressive day from a SAGU defense that we know is very good.
Back to pass. Korkalainen rolls out to his right. Looking for anything here. It's 3rd and long. He lets it go out of bounds and throws it away. He's looking for a roughing the passer call, but it looked to be pretty clean on that far side. 4th and long incoming.
You see it right here, and probably just a little bit of contact there, not enough to draw the roughing penalty. So a drive that begins on SAGU's 39-yard line. When you lose 8 yards, you're kind of left with no other option. Have to bring the punting unit back on, try to pin SAGU deep.
Well, the last time the punting unit was on the field, it was blocked.
And you'll see now they will bring back to a more traditional punt formation. They've been doing that spread look, and it finally fell apart on them on the last punt.
He does get it away, end over end, wobbly punt, fair catch called and brought in at the 10-yard line. So that is where SAGU will take over, 90 yards in front of them. And Dylan Alford upset with himself. There is some room to run there.
Yeah, I think they're pointing at each other, and I actually see Tyson Annette saying, my bad, my bad. I think he told him to take the fair catch. And then after the fact, the blocking held up very well. He could have easily picked up 10 yards there, but SAGU will start at their own 10-yard line. Up 15-0 after knotting their first touchdown. Now, again, that one came from 15 yards out. There's 90 yards now. If you can find a way to put together a drive and really put this game away, it could not come at a better time.
Green will hand it off here on 1st down. Up the middle, has some room to work with, and picks up 8 yards on 1st down. Draylen Taylor on the carry.
Quicker running back. Kevion Rose is kind of your bruising tackle, tackle breaking back. Taylor, you don't have to hold for long. He can find whatever gap is there and get there quick.
2nd and 2 here for SAGU. They send Long into the backfield again here. And they will hand it off to Taylor again. Taylor, following the big man up front, tries to bounce it to the outside. Goes for no gain. Makes it 3rd and 2.
Just can't quite get that edge sealed. If they'd have got it sealed, he probably could have got to the corner. They are going to give him 1 yard. Not a full yard quite, but they're going to get a 3rd and 1 regardless here.
3rd and long one here.
20-yard line is the line to gain. They will keep Taylor in the game and still have a spread look.
Man in motion. Here's Green from the pistol. Will turn around, hand it off to Taylor. Taylor looking to get the 1st down, lowers the shoulder, fights through contact, and picks up enough for the 1st down and moves the chains. He needed 1 and picked up about 4, maybe 5.
Justin Bodion is key to this play, getting down there, forcing his defender downfield. If there had been that extra guy there, there's probably not enough room to work with. He's probably dragged down short, but instead, gain of 4, and that should be the last play of the 3rd quarter, and it is. The quarter will end. SAGU leading 15-0. They get the lone points of the 3rd quarter on a 15-yard touchdown drive after the blocked punt. Teams will switch sides, and we will have the 4th quarter of play coming up here on SAGU Sports Network. Do our live look in across the NAIA. Pretty much unchanged since the last check. Texas Wesleyan trying to get away from that scare. They were down 13-10 at the half, but they've scored 14 here in the 2nd. Midway through the 4th quarter, got to be feeling a little bit better by where they were.
There's your game of the week. College of Idaho upsetting Carroll of Montana 35-21. 8 versus 6, I'm not sure how much of an upset you can call it, but in terms of pure standings.
Yes. They'll probably flip places at this point in that brutal conference they have out there. Meanwhile, Rocky Mountain up by a touchdown on Montana Tech in the top 20 matchup between the Valor and Friends University.
When did that happen? The Valor?
It's been a couple of years now.
They were the Crusaders before, weren't they? Yeah.
Yes.
So that's actually like the Evangel Valor is much better. I like that a lot. like that a lot.
That's why I hesitated. I was like about to, got to keep all the names straight,
Put your fours up. Quarter number 4 underway here. SAGU off the first down run from Taylor. Sets up here from the 23. New set of downs. High snap. Turns around, hands it off to Kevian Rose. Lowers the shoulder and picks up 2. Make it 2nd and 8.
And you may see a lot of this in the fourth quarter now. With the way the defense is played, you've got to feel confident that they can hold the fort down. Your job is to keep the clock moving, try to get, wear this defense down some, give your defense plenty of time to rest too. That's been the thing. Even though the defense has been stellar, they've been on the field a lot. They've been getting off the field very quick, but you've been putting them back on the field pretty quick as well. And you see them taking their precious time right now. If they could kill all 15 minutes on this drive, they would, as they run the clock down to 2.
All the way down to 2. Here's Rose trying to make a man miss. Bounces it to the outside. He's going to go backwards. Lose 3 on that carry. Makes it 3rd and 11.
And Rose really needs to be an impact runner. He needs to get to that line of scrimmage to really get that momentum going. When he's disrupted 3 yards in the backfield, that's about all she wrote. He's not going to beat them to the sideline. Kind of must have dinged up that right elbow, so Draylon Taylor will come back in on 3rd and 11. And yet again, SAGU already in clock kill mode to start the fourth quarter off. They understand the assignment right now.
3rd and 11. Briley Green in the pistol, 4 wide, 2 either side. He's back to pass on 3rd and long. Steps up, rolls out to his left, and he's just going to fling it out of bounds. Incomplete. Brings up 4th down. Ryan Lewis in the punting unit onto the field.
Does a good job there. His number, I believe, 19, Kevin Jamerson, getting to that corner, not allowing Briley Green to turn the corner and try to pick up anything or stay in bounds. He just has to toss it away. So SAGU picks up a 1st down after starting on their 10-yard line, but nothing after the fact. They're forced to punt it away. What wind there is will again be at their back, so trying to flip the field even inside their own 10-yard line.
End over end punt. It's a good one. Oh, just fielded at the 34. Trying to get to the outside. A flag comes in away from the play, and he is leveled out of bounds. But this, more often than not, should be in the area of holding, blocking the back, and will be coming back against the Stallions, as it was on an initial area of return.
Yeah, you're probably going to see it right here, and a little bit of a shoulder grab right there will probably be enough to draw the hold. So it'll probably move the ball inside the 25-yard line, as that's where it happened. It was at about approximately the 33, 34-yard line.
So from the 33, you would think it takes it back to the 23, but we'll see the official call here.
During return, holding on return team, number 12, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul, 1st down.
They will indeed march it back to the 23-yard line, and that is where NAU will take over.
After the penalty, the ball is spotted at the 23-yard line.
Well, if they want any shot back in this one, they're going to need to score on this drive. The clock definitely becomes a factor now, as you already see the SAGU Lions game plan on offense. And when you really haven't accomplished anything, other than that one drive that got down to the 30-yard line that you had the fumble on, since then SAGU's defense has really prevented you from getting across midfield at all.
Looking for anything. Underhand pass to his running back leaking out of the backfield. That was Elion Hogan. Picks up 2 yards, and that was just immediate pressure. Fortunately for the Stallions, he was able to get it away.
Now, if Patrick Mahomes had done that, we showed the replay for 3 weeks. So, thinking on your feet, tossing underhanded. He turns what was going to be essentially a drive-killing sack, because once SAGU has you at 2nd and 17, it's all but over, into some positive yardage and keeps this thing moving at least.
2nd and 8 incoming here for the Stallions. Korkalainen back to pass. Swings it out into the flat. Met immediately. Big hit. Lontarius McLean upends the receiver and drops him for a loss of 2 yards.
And that's just too telegraphed. The ball comes out a little too early. You need to hold on to a little bit further because McLean is actually covering downfield, is able to see immediately that the ball's coming out, knows to get off of his guy, and you have 3 gray jerseys standing there, playing a quick game of rock, paper, scissors to see who gets to lay the wood on that one. Got another upset alert.
Top 15 upset.
Heights.
Wow.
Upsetting Concordia 24-21. So
if Louisiana Christian can beat the Spirit tonight, they could be looking at a top 12 spot in the ratings with 13 losing. That's pretty impressive. I mean, things are looking up. This could be the highest rating we've ever seen a Student Athletic Conference team if Louisiana Christian can win tonight. Very interesting to see.
Meanwhile, things playing out like you would have expected across the Sooner now. All the teams ahead who you would have expected. Although that game's still pretty tight. I mean, we all expected the Rams to win, but
you look at what
it's almost impossible for them to win like we thought they were going to.
You look at what teams might need to lose for Louisiana Christian to jump up inside that top 12. Evangel, 1-score game against Friends. Concordia loses to Siena Heights, so they'll drop. College of Idaho, I don't think Carroll drops too far after losing to number 8. I wouldn't think they drop out of the top, maybe drop out of the top 10. We'll see. It's tough. You're facing the number 18 in the country. I can't imagine you fall too far in a 2-score game. So you will see. The Wildcats have to get business taken care of tonight in Surprise, Arizona before we have that conversation tomorrow around the proverbial water cooler as we get ready for NFL Sunday. But we'll see. It's crazier things have happened in the NAIA. So it's always interesting to see how it plays out.
Injured Stallion got off the field under his own power. Good to see. So now 3rd and 10, ball at the 23-yard line. 11:51 to play, and SAGU's defense at this point looking to preserve the dominance they've had today.
3rd and 10, the Stallions trying to avoid a 3-and-out again here. They send a man in motion. Tight formation here for NAU. Back to pass. Rolls out to his right, looking for anything downfield. There's nothing there. He gets hit as he throws. He was blasted as he let that ball go, and it falls incomplete, and that'll be 4th and 10. Korkalainen just could not find anybody down the field.
And kind of the worst of both worlds, where you have to throw it away, but you still take the hard hit. You usually throw it away to avoid that, but he hops up right after getting leveled. Another 3-and-out coming up here for the Stallions. And just like in the first half, they started off this half with a little bit of momentum, had some positive gains. They were just down 9-0, looking to get back into it. But since then, SAGU's defense completely has erased them off the field. They punt this one away.
High punt fielded at the 44. Running back across, all the way across the field is Alford, trying to pick up any yardage. Has not picked up any yardage yet. He ran from sideline to sideline for a no-yard return. But, hey, he killed some clock on that return.
That's what it is. Yeah, that's running the clock at us. He literally, will field it at the 44, about as far to the top of your screen as he can go, directing traffic, driving, dodging, blocking. Everyone knows at this point, just don't get called for a block in the back. And they gave him a yard. He's up at the 44.8-yard line.
That is a 55-yard run for a 1-yard return.
Worth it. Every single yard in a game like this matters. So whatever you got to do to scrap your way downfield, that yard could be huge here in a minute.
1st and 10 from the 45-yard line. Here's Green. Back to pass on 1st down. Quick hitter finds Odidi across the middle. He's running the wrong way. That's going to end up in a loss of 1.
Yeah, turned a 4-yard gain into a loss of 1. Immediately running the wrong direction, and there was never any daylight to to see. That's when you just got to turn around and kind of go low, dive for the extra yardage. But instead of a positive first down play,
second and 11.
Losing track of where he was on the field.
Back at where Alford should have been marked at the 44-yard line. Second and 11 incoming here. Bunch formation to the right for Briley Green. Second long, back to pass. Quick hitter to the outside. Colby Tanner goes down for a loss of 2. Trying another one of these screens and unsuccessfully on that play.
It's Kevin Jamerson who's getting blocked over the top. Goes right over his man. And even still kind of being held on to. Drags him for a loss. So a 2-yard loss. So 2 completed passes. Lose the Lions 3 yards. The only positives there is that they were complete and the clock has stayed moving under 10 minutes to play now. As they continue to let that play clock dwindle down on before each snap.
Second and 13. Green sends a man in motion. He's back to pass on third down. He lets it go down the sideline over the head of Colby Tanner. He had him open. Just put a lot on that one as he was under some pressure as he threw.
A little bit too much speed and a little bit too high. Level that out or even make it come in a little bit slower. He has a chance to take a step back and get it. Sails incomplete. So SAGU yet again unable to take advantage of the good field position just shy of the 50. They move backwards, in fact, and be punting the ball away. A lot of pressure coming here from the
snap. It's brought in by Lewis. Lewis has it, and he's just going to get brought down. And this is the worst possible scenario here for SAGU, as this sets up the Stallions with a very short field from the 31.
It's brand new life is what it is. If you just get that punt away, the way your defense is played, you feel very safe. Instead, the Stallions are showing an all-out jailhouse break punt rush, and it got into the team's head as that snap rolls in. And really just, Ryan Lewis has to do what we saw earlier in the game from Anthony Shimbri. Just don't make a bigger mistake. Falls on the ball at the 31-yard line. If the Stallions want back into this one, they've got their shot now.
First and 10 from the 31, low snap, handled. Back to pass, gets hit as he throws, and it is incomplete over the head of his intended receiver. A shot delivered by Joseph Chavez.
And the aggressiveness he comes in, doesn't even have a full head of steam, as it has been a long day for Jesper Korkalainen. He has been sacked a ton. He has been hit after almost every throw. This SAGU defense has been recklessly pursuing him all day as they try to preserve this shutout.
Second and 10 incoming here for the Stallions. Back to pass, swings it out to the left. No blocking there, and that's going to go down for a big loss, a loss of 5. And it's just not set up properly. The receivers running downfield, not blocking anybody. I mean, it wasn't there.
I don't even know if that was a intended bubble screen. I think it might have happened so quick that Korkalainen is going to what was supposed to be the safety outlet, but the outside DBs are well aware that the play is breaking so quick, they don't even have to rush down the field. There's no way that a guy 15 yards down the field is going to be able to get a pass, thrown his way when there's that much pressure.
We're going to get a timeout here. SAGU, Coach Ellis wants to set something up on defense here.
Lions, their first charge timeout.
As the Stallions face 3rd and 15.
Looks like they had a couple of subs they wanted to bring on that they couldn't actually get in time. And this is kind of the put it away moment right here. 3rd and 15, you get one more stop here, you're down to 8 minutes to play, you're feeling pretty safe where you are. If you make a mistake here, allow a busted play, get called for a silly penalty, and keep this drive alive, that's how the Stallions potentially start pulling a rally off.
Live look in, looks like Texas Wesleyan was able to stave off the upset from Wayland Baptist. They win 24-13 as they are set up for next week's showdown against Louisiana Christian. As Louisiana Christian, we've talked about it, they face Ottawa of Arizona tonight at 7 p.m. And next week could very well be the conference championship determining game between Texas Wesleyan and Louisiana Christian.
And it just shows the weirdness of college football. Yep. SAGU goes and beats Wayland Baptist 37-16, gets obliterated 51-0 by Texas Wesleyan. Then Texas Wesleyan has to survive a 60-minute scare from the Pioneers.
Back to pass on 3rd and 15, and he connects with his man on the sideline, and he picks up the first down, finds Colby Clark for 17 on 3rd and 15.
They just laced it into a soft spot in the SAGU defense, and after absolutely nothing in those scenarios all game long, when they had to have it, Jesper Korkalainen drops in a 3rd and 15 conversion, and this one ain't over yet. Ball at the 19-yard line as we approach 8 minutes to play in the game.
2 stacks either side of the quarterback. He's going to hand it off on first down. Nothing doing there. Keith Hargraves off the edge. Brings him down for a loss of 1. Look at Hargraves fly down the line here.
I mean, takes that angle that he knows no one's going to be able to block him. And because the SAGU defensive line has done so well, typically if anybody wins up front and there's a hole, well, he's just running behind him. He's not even in the play. They've done such a great job of bottling guys up that you can come untouched on those long run around the edge type blitzes and get home.
2nd and 11, back to pass. Lets it go into the flat. Has his man, but he's hit quickly, brought down. Good open field tackle on the outside by Isaac Gowdy.
So right back to 3rd down here. Of course, would be 4-down territory. Gowdy doesn't allow him to go anywhere. Remember, it was Gowdy in the first half who had what was essentially a touchdown-saving tackle, and just a few plays later, Korkalainen was sacked by Noah Gibson and fumbled. That was previously to this probably their best chance to score. They've got to have 8 yards in the next 2 plays now to keep this game alive.
Korkalainen back to pass, facing pressure, throws behind his intended receiver, and it falls incomplete. Brings up 4th down. And I'm curious to see what the Stallions will do here. Not a lot of shifting yet. I think they might set up to go for this here on 4th down.
Oh, absolutely. A field goal does you no good at this point in the game. It's a 2-touchdown game at the moment. We only got 6:46 left. Lontarius McLean was in on the coverage there, blanketing him.
Both teams 0 for 1 today on 4th down conversion, 4th down attempts rather. 4th and 8 here for the Stallions. 6:46 left to play in this one.
Play clock down to 5.
They're going to have to call a timeout here.
Yep, they will.
And that just took a little too long to get the decision in as far as what they wanted to do.
The first yard timeout of the half.
Like I said, this is about it right here. If you're unable to convert, SAGU will just stay on the ground, and as long as they get clean punts off, you're not going to be able to do much. Again, this drive started at the 31-yard line thanks to the botched punt. Looking at some stats, and nothing's going to jump off the page at you on offense, at least. The fact that the numbers are so low is a testament to these defenses. Riley gained 13 for 36, 121 yards. He does have the big touchdown pass, however. DeKevian Rose with 24 yards rushing, still down to just 2.2 yards carry. Paul O'Didi, the lone guy really, having himself a pretty good game. 6 catches, 67 yards, and that big touchdown. That is the big difference maker at the moment. SAGU's defense, not only has they allowed no points, but at the moment have the Stallions at just 52 total yards on the day. And it's been a masterful defensive performance. SAGU's offense just at 148 themselves. So not even right at 200 combined yards for both the offenses at the moment.
You love defense, you love this game. 4th and 8 incoming here for the Stallions. Korkalainen comes out with 2 either side, 4 wide. SAGU brings 5. He's facing pressure, rolls out, throws it off his back foot. It's up in the air, and it is It is caught. I could a sea of hands. I could not see who brought that in. I thought there was no way he brought that in.
There is a flag late in the backfield. We'll see what this is.
Look at this. Just throws it up and prays that it is completed. Goes up. Double covered. Wow.
We're waiting on the call here.
Right just past that line to gain.
That's pass for a first down. Personal foul. Roughing the passer. On the defense, number 2. That penalty's half the distance to the goal. First down.
So they get the Hail Mary heave, really. It only went 10 yards, but it felt like a Hail Mary going up in double coverage, somehow pulling it out, and then SAGU gets called for the roughing the passer penalty. So 2 huge conversions on this drive, and it's first and goal at the 3.5. 6:30 to play. Stallions looking to get on the board and get this game right back to competitive.
First and goal from the 3. By far the best drive of the afternoon for the Stallions. Korkalainen back to pass, facing pressure, throws off his back foot. Incomplete pass, flag comes out.
Probably going to be a hold in the end zone, so you're going to line this up at the goal line now.
Just skips in there, falls incomplete.
Oh, wait. Oh, it is going to be on the Stallions. They were asking Coach Ellis what he would like, an eligible man downfield.
Yep, we saw that a lot last week.
And you'll definitely accept this.
Ineligible man downfield on the offense, number 74. 5-yard penalty, replay first down.
So that moves it out to the 9-yard line. And for a drive that has only started on the 31-yard line, it's been methodical. It's been picking up, a long 3rd down, a long 4th down. And now after getting the ball inside the 5, it's reset out to the 8.5. So first and goal, we'll call it the 8-yard line, but it is right in between the 8 and 9 after the half distance of the goal penalty.
Korkalainen comes out to either side, 4 wide. Low snap, it's on the ground. He falls on it and brings it in. And he is fortunate that was not another untimely turnover. Not that there's any good time for a turnover, but we're down in the goal-to-go situation is the last opportunity you want to see for a turnover.
And this drive has taken so long, even though it's only traveled now a total of 15 yards. It has taken so long that this is it. I mean, this is their last chance. At this point, if they don't score on this drive, there simply will not be enough time left to score on 2 separate drives. But they now face second and goal from the 16-yard line.
Second and goal, 4 wide again here for Korkalainen. Back to pass. And he just throws it at the feet. It's intercepted! It's intercepted, tried to get rid of it, and just bounced right into the hands of the defensive lineman. There are multiple flags on the field.
They're in the area of holding. How on earth did this happen?
Noah Gibson, it bounces off his own man, and Noah Gibson right there for the interception. That is incredible.
The pass, holding on the offense, number 51. That penalty decline, results plays an interception. First down, Lions.
Literally just trying to throw the ball into the dirt to stay alive, and instead it hits the offensive lineman's shoulder pads. Noah Gibson had the strip sack earlier and has what is going to be the game icing interception here. Watch this again. Just hits 67, and Gibson coming right in, picks it off. And that should just about do it.
Here's one thing. I love quarterback play, but one thing I love almost as much is big guy interceptions. And Noah Gibson with the big guy interception there.
And he's had a big guy game with a couple of sacks, has just been racking up tackles for a loss. And again, that is now the second time that Noah Gibson has been responsible for a turnover deep in SAGU territory. It will be the 4th turnover of the game. We have, looks like nobody's down. Somebody must have quickly got off the field, as it will be the 4th turnover of the game for the Stallions, but that does not even factor in the botched punt and blocked punt. So 2 different punts set SAGU up deep in their own territory. So essentially 2 of the turnovers took away scoring opportunities from the Stallions. 2 have given them points, and then obviously they got points off of both of the botched punt situations. So defense and special teams, the complete captain of today.
Looking for Odidi, and it falls incomplete. That'll bring up 3rd and 8.
Another perfectly timed defensive play. Now, we've really seen a lot of great coverage today from both Keyshawn Langham and Jaheim Evans. They have both been all over the field today.
3rd and 8 incoming here for SAGU. Green takes a snap, back to pass, facing pressure, brought down immediately. He's folded up. Looks like he was hit in the head.
His helmet is off after that one. Take your pick, as he is completely wrapped up and taken down in the backfield. Looks like the clock stopped, I imagine. Now they'll rewind it. I didn't know if North American was using their timeouts already. So after the interception, SAGU's offense unable to do much other than burn a little bit of time off the clock. North American will still get the ball back potentially with good field position. This is where SAGU fell apart last time. You got to have a clean punt here. A lot of pressure being shown.
Another low snap. Lewis does a good job of going down to get it. Gets it away. Wobbly punt fielded at the 49-yard line. Trying to bounce to the outside. SAGU's got to try to keep it in. A huge block is thrown, and it springs it for another 30 yards. Oh, wow. What a huge hit.
And he is down after that. Try to see who it was that got hit. He's up now. That's good to see.
Kevin Jamerson laying the wood.
And it was, I believe, going to be Aaron Thomas, special teamer, who gets completely blasted on that. That was definitely very close to being a blindside block. But good field position now for the Stallions. We said that interception should have sealed it. Now, only 4 minutes left on the clock. They need to score twice, and they have yet to score once. But nevertheless, yet again, excellent field position for the Stallions after SAGU's offense goes nowhere, and then a big return on the punt to the 32-yard line.
First 10, SAGU looking to bring in pressure. And they do indeed bring pressure, letting it go to the sideline over the head of everybody. Flag comes flying in where the route was initially being run. Lontarius McLean in coverage against Tyrell Williams.
It looks like he held a little bit coming out of the break. We'll see what the call is, whether it's holding or pass interference. Not sure the ball left his hand before he was grabbing the jersey.
5. Prior to the pass, holding on the defense, number 5. 10-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
So it will just be a hole, but it's a 10-yard penalty nevertheless. Down to the 22-yard line, so without needing to gain a yard, back on the cusp of the red zone. SAGU's defense really wanting to keep that shutout intact. Right after it seemed to have really put it away. Still some slim hope now for the Stallions.
First and 10, Corkalina back to pass, looking for anybody, throws it out of bounds. Incomplete, makes it 2nd and 10.
Had to be in lane 1 for that one. 3:53 left. At this point, if they were to score at some point on this drive, you may actually be in the vicinity of needing to try an onside kick with as little time remains. Although your best plays so far have been punts. So you honestly may be better off getting it into SAGU's hands, trusting your defense to make a stop and trying to make a big play happen that way. Regardless, they're still 22 yards away, and no yard has come easy against the SAGU defense.
2nd and 10, looking deep again. Good coverage on the outside by Lontarius McLean.
There's a flag at the 30, and I think they're going to call roughing the passer here. I think they're going to get Xavier Garcia for roughing the passer, going in low on the quarterback a little bit late. Now, they are discussing it, but there are 2 flags right at the 30 where the quarterback was collided with. And SAGU is walking backwards.
Personal foul.
Yep.
Roughing the passer. On the defense, number 33. Hitting below them.
No, it was Jaden Holcomb, not Xavier Garcia.
First down.
So 2 penalties have moved the ball completely now for the Stallions. A 10-yard holding penalty and now a roughing the passer penalty, as he did go in low on the quarterback and a little bit late too. So the clock stands still. Stallions at the 11-yard line.
1st and 10 from the 11. 3 to the right, 1 to the left. Back to pass. Korkalainen facing pressure, and he's going to get brought down. Another sack for the SAGU defense. They have been all over Jesper Korkalainen today. There's nothing doing there. Brought 5 and got home.
Probably going to end up crediting Joseph Chavez with that one. Loss of 5. Clock under 3.5 to play. Stallions have got to put some points on the board.
4 wide, Korkalainen back to pass, facing pressure again. Lets it go to the end zone. It's underthrown. Did he get it?
I think he got it.
I think he scooped it up.
Oh, the top judge says incomplete.
Get a good look at it here. It's
We'll
underthrown.
Right here.
Oh, I think
he caught it.
I think that's a catch, and
I
there's
think he
no
caught it.
There's no reviews. There's no replays at this level.
As the ball just kind of comes in as a lame duck. The judge at the line judge closest to the play didn't have the best angle, but he was the closest.
If you get another look at it, I'm almost certain he got his hands underneath that.
I really felt like he did.
Here, take another look at it here.
He'll be a little bit closer in here as we'll try to go frame by frame. Fluttering in.
Well underthrown.
As he breaks back, and now we do have an injured Stallion. The wide receiver stumbled over his own feet. Right here, he gets his hands up. And
the shadow makes it. No, it did bounce. It did bounce.
Yeah.
The shadow made it hard to see at first, but it did kick up into his own. That is so close.
Yeah, so close to another pick that really would have iced it for sure.
I'll tell you what's impressive. The official from the far side making the call when there was 2 more significantly closer to the play.
Oh, it's one of those weird ones where because of where it landed, the guys who were closer did not have, obviously we're in the similar vantage point from our spot here, and it sure looked like he had been able to get his hands underneath it and scoop it at first, but it did seem that the nose of the football probably touched. And, of course, even if it doesn't bounce, if it touches at all before you secured it, it's incomplete. Regardless, it'll bring up another 3rd and long. The Stallions converted twice on the last drive, a 3rd and long and then a 4th and 8. But it was all derailed thanks to a couple of big stops and then the fluky interception. Now they're at 3rd and 15 from the 16-yard line. They could theoretically pick up another first down to the 1. But realistically, they've got to aim for the end zone on these next 2 throws. And this one really is it at this point. We said the last drive, and things kind of went wonky afterwards. This one really is it. They've got to score here if they want any shot at this game.
3rd and 15. Korkalainen, 2 to his left, 1 to his right. Low snap, it's on the ground. He picks it up, and he's going to let it go. He's got a guy open to the end zone, to the 1, into the end zone for a touchdown. A busted play turns into a score for Tyrell Williams. 16-yard touchdown pass.
And it's counterintuitive, but the busted play leads to the touchdown. Because he drops it, everyone freezes in place. Corners freeze in place. Linebackers start pursuing towards the line of scrimmage, trying to get home, maybe get that recovery if there's going to be a fight for the ball. Because of that, the presence of mind to pick the ball up, square his feet, and find his guy who's wide open at the 1. The Stallions have done it. They have finally gotten into the end zone with just over 3 minutes to play. Huge extra point here. Have got to convert this.
Good snap, good hold, and it is blocked. And it's picked up. SAGU can get points here. If they can get it down the sideline, he's got a sea of Lions in front of him. It gets brought down at the 40. SAGU trying their hardest.
Regardless, that is a devastating turn of events for the Stallions. It is still a 2-score game.
Still a 2-score game. Now, I don't know if that had any shot of making it. I'm not sure that was blocked as much as it was kicked into the line.
Yeah, that was very, very low. So even though SAGU does not get down the field and actually get the 2 points, the damage is still done right after the Stallions finally pull it off and get in the end zone. The blocked extra point keeps it a 2-score game. So even when they finally get there, SAGU special teams shows up again. A huge day for SAGU special teams. And that block might just seal it because the Stallions have to still score twice now. So we'll see that at this point you've got to try the onside kick. So the hands team will come on. As the teams went to the wrong side of the field. SAGU was heading to the west end zone, and there wasn't like one side was right and the other side was wrong. They were both wrong. It's been that kind of day for these two teams.
It's been a weird one, yeah, it has been.
15-6. As the Stallions, again, their slim hopes somewhat derailed by that blocked extra point. They've got to find a way to convert this onside kick. Otherwise, SAGU can't put the whole game away. The Stallions do still have timeouts, but they could milk the clock down quite a ways and punt and pin the Stallions deep.
They only had 10 guys on the field.
Now, there's no time on the play clock at all. Yeah, we've been at zero for around 11 seconds. I looked over. It had been zero for so long, I finally went,
on a kicking
there
team.
may be something.
5-yard penalty.
Yeah, that they'll sometimes give you the delay but they don't usually give you the delay and, but, or, nor, yet. Start throwing conjunctions in there.
You don't see delay games all too often on kickoffs.
But again, you only had 10 guys on the field.
10 guys on the field.
It's more important to have 11 than it is to those extra 5 yards don't make that huge a difference in this scenario.
And they will indeed do an onside kick, and it is pulled in, I believe, by Paul O'Didi. Goes down low and gets it.
That was a nice looking onside kick. Came out kind of funny looking and dropped a little bit shy, and O'Didi.
That was actually Lontarius McLean.
Oh, McLean. Yeah,
goes down and gets
got 2 number 5s out there.
O'Didi's got the pink gloves today. They both were number 5.
Yeah, 2 key contributors who both play outside positions.
And when it's on kick return,
it could be either.
It's anybody's guess.
So SAGU takes over 3:04, ball at the 43-yard line. And I imagine we'll see 3 straight handoffs right here. Stallions can still stop the clock some.
They will hand it off to Kevian Rose. Picks up 1 on first down, make it 2nd and 9.
And the clock will just run. North American may not use their timeouts, trailing by 2 scores still. They may wait for a second stop here, since I do believe they only have 2 timeouts. They can't stop the clock all 3 times, so they may save it for the second down play. SAGU will obviously burn every available second here.
They bring it all the way down to 1, get the snap off, and we'll hand it off to DeKevian Rose. Rose pushes the pile. Look at DeKevian Rose pushing and pushing. First down, SAGU, and the pile still going. What a run by DeKevian Rose. He was in a pile after a gain of about None.
He was
and moved
stopped.
the pile for 15 more yards. That is absolutely incredible.
Timeout.
There's face masks in here. There were probably around 112 infractions inside that pile. See, at some point, I think, if the ball comes loose at the back, you have to squib it in rugby. So I'm not sure what the rules are with that scrum. But that rumbling pile.
What a run by Dakevian Rose, keeping the feet going. Wow,
that
what a push.
Biggest run of the game for SAGU, and it didn't come with an inch of free space. That's about the way the offense has operated. It will give them a fresh set of downs. The Stallions still have a timeout remaining, but they can all but salt this one completely away now, as they are poised to hang on.
Rocky Mountain leading Montana Tech in a receiving votes versus 23 matchup. That'll help you get in that top 25. 1:59 left to go after SAGU moves the chains. We believe that NAU has one timeout left. They will hand it off to Rose. Rose not pushing the pile this time. It goes the other way, and it goes for a no gain on first down. Makes it 2nd and 10.
Clock will remain running here, so up by 9. I think we can safely say the SAGU Lions are going to hang on and win today, but not without a bitter fight from, again, a team still very much in their infancy, looking to move from that affiliate position into a full-time Sooner Athletic Conference position, and they seem well primed for it. The development we've already seen out of them from last year to this year, going to get their first win on the road against Texas College, and then coming in here against the SAGU Lions and really shutting this offense down. This offense did nothing today of any note. 9 of the points came almost directly off of drives that came off of their own mistakes with botched punts. North American, even though they only got 6 points of their own, have got to be thinking to themselves, if you limit those mistakes, you could have won this game today. I mean, you had 4 turnovers in this ball game. You take away one of those, and this is a one-possession game right now. This is potentially a tie game.
Yep.
So they played a very tight ball game here today, but SAGU will hang on for the win, move to 3-4 on the season. They're going to run the clock down, I guess, as far as they can.
They will take a timeout on
Timeout.
3rd and 8.
Lions, their second charge timeout of the half.
It'll be the first home win of the season for SAGU after they suffered 3 really tough losses, all against top-tier opponents. Whenever you look at your home schedule and go, oh, great, Ottawa, Langston, Texas Wesleyan, that's the best of the conference, so we've got to host them to start the year off. But it will move to SAGU to 3-4 on the year. They'll have 3 games remaining. Still got a good shot of getting to 500 this year, maybe even getting a winning record. Look at their schedule. Lost to Texas Wesleyan last week, beat North American this week. Next week they go on the road for a very tough assignment against Louisiana Christian.
Yep.
Then on the road against Oklahoma Panhandle State, another tough team. They're beating up on Texas College right now. That will not be easy before they come home to face off Texas College for our final broadcast, homecoming broadcast. Always a fun one, so go ahead and circle November 11th on your calendar. As, man, the season's almost over. It just started yesterday. What are we doing with the season almost being over?
I know. It's gone really fast. And SAGU will take a knee at the 25-yard line, and that will do it. The teams will line up at the 50 to shake hands, and SAGU gets its first home victory today against the North American University Stallions, 15-6 in a defensive battle between these two teams.
If you're a fan of Xboxes and cool stuff like that, you probably like 55, 52 games. But if you can appreciate ball and stick and hula hoops, you got to love a good 15-6 football game occasionally. Go back to the schoolyard, Yale versus Harvard or something.
Well, Tim,
it was a defensive struggle today.
I'm going to let you go play with your ball and stick, and I'm going to go home and play with my Xbox. It's an ugly win for SAGU, but you know what? as one of my favorite coaches says, never apologize for winning a game. 15-6 is the same as 58-10. And Coach Ellis gets his squad a win today, again, by a score of 15-6. And they needed it, Tim. After a couple of tough losses, they needed to pick up a win today.
And obviously, you're going to walk away with this going, you still have a mountain of questions to answer about your offense. But I think you've settled any discussion about this defense. This is a stellar defensive unit that will give you a chance every week. If you can find anything on offense, you don't have to be great on offense. You don't even have to be good on offense. If you can just play average, if you can just get out there and produce any sort of results, you will be in every game you play with how good this defense is, holding opponents under 75 yards in a game. That last touchdown only came on a 31-yard field, and about the 6th time, I think, that the Stallions had started deep in SAGU territory. The 6th time they did it, they finally got a touchdown. So excellent day from this Greg Ellis-led defense. So still got a little bit of work to do, see if they can finish the season on a high note with this offense. But at the moment, they snapped the one-game losing streak. Wasn't really a streak, just one game off. They get their 3rd win of the year, and they will gear up trying to finish the season strong with these final 3 dates ahead of them.
And this is not this is not the last broadcast before we hit homecoming, Tim. There is a big matchup this upcoming Tuesday.
Yes.
The Lady Lions volleyball team, 6 p.m. versus Texas Wesleyan in what could be, very likely is, the de facto conference championship matchup. And you got to think Coach Moore, 500-win Coach Moore, is going to be biting his nails for a repeat conference championship. This is a huge matchup.
And longtime rivals between the Lady Rams and the Lady Lions. They're going to go at it.
I mean, just look at that. Look at that.
I'll give you a guess who SAGU's won losses to. It was to Texas Wesleyan in 4 sets back earlier this year. So that is the tiebreaker right now. If they can get a win Tuesday night, they could take back over that top position and finish off the year as the 2nd straight year of being conference champions. That's going to be, there's going to be some tension there Tuesday night. So absolutely tune into that one. You won't want to miss it.
Go ahead and give us a follow on all of our social medias. We're kind of talking YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, X/Twitter, whatever you want to call it. Give us a follow. You don't want to miss a second of SAGU Sports Network action, especially this upcoming Tuesday night. It's going to be one to watch. I know I will be tuning in for that one. For our student-led crew who gives up their weekends, not just today for football, but also doing the volleyball game earlier today, we appreciate them so much for giving up their weekends and their nights to bring you guys this action and bring you the best broadcast they possibly can. Again, 15-6 final today between NAU and SAGU. I'm Adam Ferguson from my partner Tim Roberts and our producer John Cookman and James Lex. We appreciate you for once again watching the SAGU Sports Network.
Hey!